Well, hello there. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a fantastic little day. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? Winning.
Winning? Why are you winning?
Tiger's blood, dragon blood, all the stuff that all the cool people said back in the day.
Nice. How's everybody else doing? Hope everybody else is also doing fantastically, winning or whatever you're doing out there, as you people do. What is this? Truth is still true, said AP. Did you see my suggestion? Ash, what's up, Ash? Good to see you. We need to get together to do a little talk. I know you messaged me back. I'm just horrible at getting back. I was thinking to myself, if Donald Trump personally handed me his card and said, hey, get in touch with me, I want to offer you something, I would fail to respond to him. That's how I am. And David knows it's true. So.
And then if you agreed, you might change your mind like the day before and then not do anything.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm terrible. I'm horrible. Thank you, Gotab. Thank you for confirming it. Thank you for saying terrible. Thank you.
Comment of the day right there.
Comment of the day. I'm going to pin this here. Wait a minute. Let's pin this comment here. AP is terrible. Oops. I accidentally put you in timeout. Wait a minute.
I accidentally banned you from YouTube.
I clicked on put in timeout instead of pin. Now he can comment and we can see his comments. So, oops. And I don't even know how to reverse it because I don't see it here on my screen. So anyway, oopsie. So, yeah, anyway. David, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Nothing, not much, man. Not much. There's something weird going on with my system here, which is that I don't have a proper overview of my super chats here. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why this is a thing.
Don't you have a super tricked out system?
I should have. It's not my system. It's this StreamYard thing here.
Hang on. I'll go click on.
Do you see it?
Comments. Yeah, I see.
It should have that section there, which is
it's starred. Because the starred section.
Wait, it doesn't star them for me. Why is this happening? The heck? Was there a setting that I turned off? I bet that's what happened. And I have no idea how to fix that now. So, yeah. So, David, man, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? I just looked at Morgay321 who said Zut stuff. Muhammad was into Zut stuff.
He was indeed. Hey, David, I sent you my song. What did you think about it, man?
Super bass. You should premiere it right now, man. It's ready to go.
Premiered right now? I already submitted it to be published on Spotify on the 27th of August.
Yeah, but it's different in a live stream, man. That's not the official version. People just hear it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Fine, I'll just play it then.
All right. Everyone ready for AP's new apostate music song world premiere? That isn't even available yet on Spotify or anywhere else and has only been heard by the coolest of the cool and is about to be heard by all of you.
This is for the Jews. This is my song for the Jews.
This is a song for the Jews everywhere. And you need to take it
Jews
seriously. And it's from Muslims. And it's from Muslims who think that every tree is going to tell you where to go. Some of you think that you could trust any tree that talks to you and tells you do this. Some of you Muslims out there think all the trees got your back. We're here to tell you that is not true.
This is the Jew song. It's for all my Jews out there. Look at this. Look at Gargat here. Gargat is a cool tree with his big Star of David. Amazing, man. Yeah, this is the next song that is coming.
You want to tell everyone what the source is? You want to tell everyone
what the quote is? So, for those who do not know, according to Islam, it is very, very, very well known among Muslims. According to Islam, according to Muhammad's prophecies, let's bring it up right here and let's read it to everybody. There is a tree that will protect the Jews because it is a bad tree, because it is not a good tree. It's not an obedient tree. It's a tree of the Jews. According to Muhammad, in the future sometime, the Muslims will go around and do the following. Let's read it right here. This is what Muslims around the world believe. Abu Huraira, may Allah pleased with him, said, the messenger of Allah said, the last hour will not come until the Muslims fight against the Jews, until a Jew will hide himself behind a stone or a tree, and the stone or the tree will say, O Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him. But the gargot tree will not say so, for it is the tree of the Jews.
I want to point out that according to this hadith, just want to point out as someone who's spent some time in prison, all other trees would get the crap beat out of them and be on protective custody because they're all snitches, except one. There's only one tree that would make it in prison.
Gargot. All right, let's play the song.
Here we go.
Now you'll.
The starvation.
Oops, not this. Here.
Yeah. Everybody's talking, but not my tree. The desert's got ears, but some branches keep quiet. Garcot ain't no snitch, he stands with his crew. Shade in the heat when they're coming for you. Every rock's whispering, every bush gon' squeal, but Garcot's in the shade, keeping secrets sealed. Quoting old tales like they headline news. Every cactus, every pebble trying to point at Jews. Whispering at night like the dunes got spies. Playing hide and seek under desert skies. But my boy Garcot, he won't give you up. Won't pass your name from cup to cup. Desert full of grasses blowing with the wind, but my leafy friend stays true to his kin. Garcot ain't no snitch, he stands with his crew. Shade in the heat when they're coming for you. Every rock's whispering, every bush gon' squeal, but Garcot's in the shade, keeping secrets sealed. The stones cry out, there he is right there. Shrubs point fingers in the evening air, but Garcot just sways like, not today. He's got his people and he won't betray. Some call him the tree of the Jews with spite, but he wears that name like a badge of light. If you're running through the desert with the mob on your tail, he's the one spot where the whispers fail. Garcot ain't no snitch, he stands with his crew. Shade in the heat when they're coming for you. Every rock's whispering, every bush gon' squeal, but Garcot's in the shade, keeping secrets sealed. He don't play along with the tattletale crowd. He's seen too much and he's too damn proud. From Sinai winds to Jerusalem stones, he guards his friends like they're his own. They can tell their tales, they can shout their names, but Garcot won't join in the desert games. He's rooted deep with the promise made to keep you safe in his loyal shade. History's loud and the mob runs hot, but some truths are better left forgotten. So if you need a place while the heat runs thick, find Garcot, cause he won't snitch. Garcot ain't no snitch, he stands with his crew. Shade in the heat when they're coming for you. Every rock's whispering, every bush gon' squeal, but Garcot's in the shade, keeping secrets sealed. Yeah, the desert's noisy, but my tree knows better. Under his branches, you're safe.
Based.
Hey, your mic did that thing where it adjusts super high because you're quiet in the background.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is it fixed now?
No, it still sounds way too loud.
Really?
Hey, put that. No, now it's sounding better. Hey, put that source back up, man.
Which source?
That hadith.
Hadith nuts. Here.
No, look. because there's a confusing part. There's a confusing part, and they should put this in their translations. They should put this in their translations to avoid any confusion. So let me read it now in a clearer way.
Yep.
So it says, the messenger of Allah said, "This is how it needs."
Wait, welcome back. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So this is how it should read to be clear. Lots of things in the Muslim sources are really unclear. But it says the translation should go like this. The messenger of Allah said, "The last hour will not come until the Muslims fight against the Jews, until a Jew will hide himself behind a stone or a tree. And the stone or the tree will say, 'Oh, Ya Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, but not in the way Al-Zut was behind Muhammad.'" Everything needs to include that, or people will start wondering. Ya Muslim.
Anyway, so this is the messed up stuff about Islam and Jews. So, but anyway, we're gonna solve the problem here with the Garga tree, song. David, what have you heard about? Have you heard about this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu?
Yeah, heard of him several times.
Really? Interesting. I never heard of him. AutoStar Super Chats is on, but it still doesn't do it. This is weird.
I can just run the Super Chats, man. They're perfectly clear to me, man.
Fantastic.
Oh, wait, are you starring those manually?
I only start 3 of them.
Oh, no, I see them all then.
Yeah, okay. The Sale of the Prophets. Did you guys watch Armin's talk with Robert Spencer? Recommend it. I wouldn't think that Armin would have had a conversation with Robert Spencer, but apparently they did.
He did, yeah. I haven't watched it, but I'm guessing that's pretty. Interesting.
Interesting.
Armin knows. Armin is the go-to source, everyone, for all things related to Iran. And Robert Spencer, legend of exposing jihad. So that should be a good one.
Sorry, I just got a kazoo and I just need to play with it. It's like an ultimate child's toy. So, Apple Baker, I'll Puff Daddy.
Come on. You might have Daniel Hakikachu watching on there and get some ideas.
Apple Baker, I'll Puff Daddy said YouTuber Sean the Muslim brags that he solved the Islamic dilemma. 6-minute video.
Really?
Please respond. I left the post critiquing his position.
And so I shall.
Sean the sheep.
Matter of fact, wasn't planning on doing this, but I'll check it out if it's serious. Might go through that tomorrow. Not the way Al-Zut went through Muhammad, but might go through it.
Sean the sheep. Sean the sheep made a video about Islamic dilemma, which has 50 views. Wow, that's a lot.
50 views?
Yeah, that's a lot of views, man. I don't know. I'm kind of scared. So, awesome song, AP. Thank you. Appreciate it. It will be the #1 song. It will climb the charts to #1 and will dethrone whatever terrible person is on the #1 right now. So,
dude, you almost have enough for an entire album, man. You gonna release your stuff as like an album?
Inshallah, soon. Yeah, I will.
What do you think you need for an album? Like eight songs?
No, I will have 12 songs. Then I will publish it.
Fight them, but we're not fighting them only on our behalf.
Members who, if you
them on your behalf too.
Relax. This is not an ad. If you're not a fan of ads, but love trigonometry, join the thousands of trigonometry members who get extended interviews, no ads, early access, and the ability to submit their own questions for upcoming guests.
What if I don't want to?
If you love beats,
no ad,
but don't like rutabaga, then have we got something for you?
What if I don't want to? But no, trigonometry is cool. These guys are cool. Konstantin is a good guy.
They are.
He's one of the very, very level-headed and one of the most reasonable commentators out there, I say personally. And you can trust me because I know what's up. So,
and super cool that we've just seen over the past couple of years, we've just seen some major influencers go completely insane. Apparently, lose their minds. Well, not these two. Not these two at all. I haven't figured out who he is kissing, but he is kissing, is what they say. So, yeah. Let's
the
see.
West that you
should
probably
have another channel called Konstantin Konstantin kissing, and then it's just like whoever the guest is, right? Like Konstantin kissing Benjamin Netanyahu.
Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Or Konstantin smooching. Yeah.
Before we get to that, though, what I
Hey,
really want to ask
you know to be
about
funny?
is-
What?
Konstantin kissing Orthodox lips Muslim. I'm just saying because there's a super chat by
Gojab says constantly kissing.
Constantly kissing Orthodox lips Muslim edition.
That's good. That's good.
October the 7th, and you had to that, though, what you said about Israel here in the West that you probably don't agree with. Before we get to that, though, what I really want to ask you about is October the 7th, and you had a very strange and unique experience that very few human beings have ever had, which is being in charge of a country of 10 million people when it's attacked in this horrific way. Where were you? How did you find out what was going on, and what was your immediate reaction? What did you think? What did you feel? How did you act in those moments?
Well, it was 6:29 on Shabbat, Saturday morning. Got a phone call from my military secretary informing me that we've just been invaded by Hamas. The first thing that I asked was, is it a full-scale invasion? He said, looks like it. And I said, can we get the Hamas leaders? But subsequently, I made my way to the military headquarters of Israel in Tel Aviv, called for a general call-up of our reserves, hundreds of thousands, and declared war, and then proceeded to focus on the mission of winning that war. And I can tell you that in these moments, you're really concerned with action. You're concerned with decisions. You're not, you don't wallow in the mire, as they say. You really think about what needs to be done now.
And have you and the people of Israel had time to grieve what happened, to process what happened to thousands of your people?
To grieve, yes. To fully absorb this savagery, I think, is more difficult because you seldom encounter such bestial behavior. In fact, I don't think you encounter it among beasts. I mean, the
funny thing is, I want to pause somewhere to comment, but I also so far don't want to pause and just want to keep listening because it's kind of, intriguing.
Yeah, if you want to pause right after Netanyahu finishes a thought, and then you can add your completely irrelevant comments.
I shan't interrupt Netanyahu. I apologize.
The deliberate raping and murder of women, the beheading of men, the burning of babies in front of their children, the kidnapping of innocent people, grandmothers, Holocaust survivors, their grandchildren. It is savagery on a scale that we haven't seen since the Holocaust. And I think that it affirmed to me that we're fighting a battle against barbarism, the battle of civilization against barbarism. And there isn't a symmetry between the two. Today, in this world of relativism, yes, of course, everybody is the same. No, we're not. We're not the same. We don't prosecute wars that way. We don't engage in such horrors. We don't deliberately mutilate human beings. This is not what distinguishes our actions, but it distinguishes theirs. And they do it with a fiendish glee. They come with GoPro cameras. This is savagery on a scale that is hard to absorb. But I'll tell you what it taught me. It said to me that we're not merely fighting the battle for our survival. We're fighting the battle for civilization against barbarism. And that was true in the beginning of the war. And it's still true today, even though some in the West refuse to acknowledge it.
That is a very important thing that he brought up there. And it has been said from the beginning, since October 7, but some people may have forgotten how messed up it was. But the morning that it started happening, the morning that the terrorists poured into Israel and started shooting and massacring and committing the terrorist attacks, what they did was actually they filmed everything themselves. Israel published or showed footage of that day to a lot of people. A lot of the stuff is online, and most of the footage that was shown, and most of the footage that is out there is actually not footage that was, taken by civilians or by surveillance or anything. It is footage taken by the Hamas terrorists and the Palestinian terrorists themselves. They themselves took their phones or attached GoPros to their heads as they started going around and murdering civilians. So you have videos of these Hamas terrorists actually going from house to house and shooting at random civilians, hearing a sound of an old man inside his home and then just opening fire and killing him and then confirming that he's dead while the GoPro is filming it. Going on a party side, on a festival side, and randomly just mowing people down. They filmed that themselves. This is the most messed up thing, that after that, a lot of people expected that this is it. There's no way that they can actually still have the world's support after this. But they filmed their own atrocities. They filmed themselves brutally murdering civilians, and they still get the sympathy of the world.
They seem to have an understanding of the world they're in, and all we have to do, this is the plan. We'll go and slaughter and rape and kill and so on, and then Jews, and we'll take a bunch of hostages, take them down into tunnels and so on. And Israel will come for those hostages and come for all the people who carried out the terrorist attack. We'll go and hide. Leave all the civilians up above, and we'll go hide in tunnels like rats. And Israel will come, and then we'll claim to be victims the entire time. And people are morons, and therefore people will fall for it. And eventually just say, hey, let's give these terrorists their own state as a reward. Pretty smart.
That's funny.
Hey, look at this dope. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He's one of these dummies who's like, are you guys defending Bibi? I'm not sure why you're talking about defending Bibi here. Shaking my head, bro. These people think we're pigs and hate us and Jesus. Christians in Palestine are getting killed too and churches bombed. Can you tell me which church was bombed and destroyed so far? Secondly, you're getting your information from stupid people online. And this is, I'm not going to respond to every single one who says dumb stuff like this, but it is expected that people like that come here. I'm currently actually in talks with some people that I trust and love in Israel, with whom I'm trying to organize a little project to personally jump in and have conversations and respond to these stupid accusations peddled by lying bastards like Tucker Carlson, for example, and others.
Yeah.
So I have a list of lots of Israeli Christians who have expressed their desire to talk about this, but Tucker Carlson ignores it. Others want to suppress it. So I'm going to undertake a project and address these things entirely. Somebody said, what about the sniper thing at the Holy Family Church a while back? It would not, not sure if it will surprise you, but look up, Joel Berry shared an article about this several weeks ago. There is actually internal talk within the church that it is acknowledged that the things during that event are not as they are described in the public, and that the church personnel and the diocese is very much aware of this, but they have just let it slide because they don't want to acknowledge that Israel is free of guilt in such cases. Anyway, I'll talk about this link.
Right, second, man. 1 second. If you're posting stupid stuff that people say, check this out. Jews hate Jesus and his mother, who, by the way, were both Jews, as were all of Jesus' original followers. Ask a Jew, I dare you. Have many
Hey,
times.
Jews. Hello, Jews in the chat. Jews in the chat. I know we can see your names. We can see your
We
tags.
know if you're
People
real
of interest.
Jews.
Jews in the chat. Do you hate Jesus and his mother?
Do you sit around cursing Jesus and his mother?
Please, Jews, respond.
Yep. Yeah, I'll break down what I always break down. You have a spectrum. You do have some people who really, really despise Jesus and so on. At the other end of the spectrum, you have Messianic Jews who absolutely love Jesus. And then in between, you have a ton of different views. You have Jews who view Jesus as a successful religious reformer who called out the hypocrisy of his day. I mean, we were talking to Rebecca, who's an atheist, and she was saying if Jesus just hadn't said this one thing, he would be regarded as like one of the greatest rabbis of all time and stuff like that. And you have the dominant position for lots of people is that they just don't think about Jesus a lot. And I think I said this in the debate with Daniel Kikachus. So in other words, they don't think of Jesus like I think of Muhammad, right? I despise Muhammad, horrible, terrible person. It's more like I think of Buddha. It's like I'm not a Buddhist. I don't believe in Buddha, but I don't sit around thinking about Buddha. It's not an issue. It's not an issue for me. Lots of Jews are kind of like that. They're not thinking about Jesus until you bring Jesus up, and then it's I don't care a whole lot. But matter of fact, AP, you remember the interview I did with a Messianic Jew who's been in Israel preaching Jesus as the Messiah to Jews in Israel for 20 years. He said the most common reaction he gets is they're actually interested in what he has to say.
Yeah.
Like they're like, really? You're a Jew and you believe in Jesus? What? And they're interested in hearing his reasons. And so the point is, guys, you've got these idiots and they listen to Nick Fuentes and they see a meme and they say, this is all Jews. Guys, there's not a lot you can say about all Jews, except there are people who hate all Jews. That's about all you can say about all Jews. So if you want to say, hey, there are some Jews, then just say there are some Jews who say this, and I wouldn't even object. So you kind of sound like a dope.
Here we have
Ash Mays just said right there.
We have Ash Mays. So Ash is I don't want to misrepresent you, Ash, but Ash is a former Orthodox Jew, and he now I think identifies as a Christian, as far as I know, and he also is opposed to. Correct me here if I'm wrong. I'm not sure about this exactly. Opposed to Orthodox Judaism and considers it wrong or not right or not true, and yet he also says most Jews don't think about Jesus at all.
He's pretending to be a Christian so he can.
So you can feel free to correct me on anything I have misrepresented you on, Ash. But
hey.
Yeah,
there
is without a doubt. I just want to add one thing. There is without a doubt historical, correspondence, historical commentary, moments here and there where certain rabbis or certain authorities have said something or have spoken critically or ill of Jesus or of Christians and all that. Well, so what? You also have a lot of stuff like that in history, in Christian history, directed at Jews because there have been mutual, grievances and hostilities and all that. To boil that down to, this rabbi 2,000 years ago said this thing, therefore all Jews hate Jesus and his mother. I'm sorry, a lot of Christians that we regard as very, very respected and very important said some messed up things about Jews. Does that now therefore mean that all Christians hate Jews and therefore the Jewish hate toward Christians would be justified? Don't be stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't be stupid, Mr. Green PMG. But just wanted to point out here, like the insanity. Muslims love Jesus, the real Jesus. What do you mean? You mean Christians believe in a fake Jesus, and the Jesus we actually have a record of, who's the divine Son of God who died on the cross for sins and rose from the dead. You hate that. You hate that guy. It's the first thing you complain about when we start when in conversations between Christians and Muslims. And so, what Jesus do you actually believe in? You believe in the Jesus preached by Muhammad, who basically turned absolutely everyone into a sock puppet. He turned Allah into a sock puppet. In other words, it's just, God says you have to do whatever I say and give me anything I want and hand your daughters and wives over to me and stuff. So he did that. That's how he treated God. But that's how he treated every prophet. So Abraham, Moses, what are they? They become Muhammad's sock puppets and just say whatever Muhammad wanted them to say. And Muhammad did that with Jesus. What does Jesus do? He just preaches, and Muhammad is going to come. Oh, yeah, Muhammad, just believe in whatever Muhammad says. And they think that's respecting Jesus. Well, guess what? If that's respecting Jesus, then fine. I'll say I respect Muhammad more than Muslims do. And I mean the real Muhammad, the one who was a devout, Trinity-believing Christian who went around Arabia preaching the true gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's
And he
the
did not
Muhammad I
rape
believe.
kids.
Not the fake one. Not the fake one. Yeah, he didn't bang kids like you guys think.
Yeah. Because your Muhammad raped kids, but the
Yeah.
real Muhammad did not. So
Yeah, the real Muhammad was a devout Trinitarian Christian. See, we respect Muhammad more than you.
the real
The
Muhammad.
real Muhammad.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And it's a strange question, perhaps, but does every man or woman who sits in your chair expect to get that phone call at some point?
Well, they should be ready for it. And it comes, what we call the red phone rings constantly. It rings at 3 o'clock in the morning. And my wife says, can't you let us sleep one night? And the answer is not many. There are these interruptions because Israel is a country unlike any other. It is still surrounded by enemies committed openly and sworn openly to its destruction. And therefore, it has to be vigilant and protecting itself constantly. And that's the first role of the Prime Minister of Israel.
And since October the 7th, your forces have obviously taken control of significant swathes of Gaza. Your intelligence operatives have secured caches of documents and information, phone calls, intercepts, etc. What do you now know about how this happened, why it was able to happen, including, you know, what happened on the Israeli side to make this possible? What do we now know about October the 7th that we did not know on October the 8th?
Well, what happened on the Israeli side needs to be investigated by an impartial commission because
This is very interesting because so Netanyahu is a head of state. I would expect. In fact, I'm really curious. Maybe I should ask Konstantin myself. But if you have,
Constantine's not going to talk to you, man.
I know he won't. He will say, "Why would I respond to you? You're not cool enough. Who even are you?"
I talked to Bibi Netanyahu. You think I'm going to talk to some loser on YouTube?
Do you think I'm stupid? But normally, when you talk to heads of state, what would happen is that they probably give you a series of questions that you may ask, or they want your questions in advance and their team checks the questions and all that. So things are coordinated. That's usually how it goes, right? I'm not sure what exactly happened here, but this question is from what I've heard, a very, 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 very unpopular question to ask, especially the Netanyahu government. Why and how exactly October 7 happened, how exactly it was possible that it happened. So I wonder if that question was pre-planned. I don't know, because this is actually a difficult question, and one that I asked people in Israel as well, and I was told we will deal with that kind of stuff after the war is done.
In control of significant swathes of phone calls, intercepts, etc. What do you now know about how this happened, why it was able to happen, including what happened on the Israeli side to make this possible? What do we now know about October the 7th that we did not know on October the 8th?
Well, what happened on the Israeli side needs to be investigated by an impartial commission because it should be investigated top down, Prime Minister down to the last pertinent official or military person. That has to be done. But right now, what we do know and what we learned is that this was part of the Iranian terror axis. Yeah. Iran had built this network of proxies with the goal of annihilating Israel by a simultaneous invasion from the south with Hamas, from the north with Hezbollah in Lebanon, with simultaneous pelleting of Israel massively with ballistic missiles, with rockets from their various proxies, not only Lebanon and Gaza, but also from the Houthis in Yemen, from militias, Shiite militias in Iraq and Syria, and from Iran itself. So this was meant to be a simultaneous surprise attack that would hobble Israel and destroy it. I think what happened was that they discovered that basically Yahya Hamas fired too soon. He didn't coordinate. The plan was there. Everybody knew that the plan was there. But for some reason, he went out and fired the first shot too early. And in many ways, I mean, it cost us a horrendous cost of 1,200 innocent people murdered savagely.
That is what I hear as well, and what seems to have happened. So they had a plan. Iran's Islamic regime had a plan of carrying out such an operation. There were also discussions of internal fights and internal disagreements between Palestinian Islamic Jihad, which is a terrorist Islamic organization in Gaza, and Hamas, which is the leading terrorist organization in Gaza, and Hezbollah. They were supposed to all act together, but apparently they couldn't really contain and couldn't really control Hamas. And Yahya Sinwar, despite other Hamas leaders opposing, kind of went rogue and started attacking and messed up the entire plan like a complete idiot.
Weren't these guys like high out of their minds and like
Yeah.
ready to? So it's like, okay, guys, they're all stoned, they're all high out of their minds and totally amped up on whatever that drug is that they take and stuff. So we got to go, man. We got to go,
Yeah.
or they're all going to kill each other here.
And apparently, so Yahya Sinwar and Hamas, they were for years promised that that the operation is going to start soon, but it just wouldn't happen. And it seems that Yahya Sinwar was didn't want to wait anymore, so he just pulled the trigger and started the operation. But it was too soon, which is why Iran was kind of dumbfounded. Hezbollah joined in, but wasn't good enough. They got their balls blown up. So, yeah, bad move, man. Bad move. You don't want to work with Islamic terrorists. It usually doesn't go right, you know.
But it also gave us the time to block a potential invasion from Hezbollah and to organize the counterattack, which we proceeded to do from day one.
Prime Minister, I know this might feel like a strange question, but I do think it's important, and it's a question many people are asking, is you clearly have incredible penetration of the Islamic...
Not in the al-Zut sense. Let's just be clear on that, everyone. Not in the al-Zut sense. Okay.
The question many people are asking is you clearly have incredible penetration.
Imagine this was an interview with al-Zut. Konstantin kissing al-Zut. You guys clearly have incredible penetration. Dude, I'm gonna cut that. Me and so everyone knows, our new al-Zut videos, me and Inspiring Philosophy, we're planning to release those simultaneously on Friday, but I'm going to figure out where to insert that. Not in the al-Zut sense, obviously, but where I can insert that into the video.
It just reminds me of Muhammad, man. Just reminds me of that hadith. Wait, so here you go. Here's the hadith. It says, Anas bin Malik said the Prophet used to visit all his wives in a round during the day and night, and they were 11 in number. I asked Anas, had the Prophet the strength for it?
It's anus.
Anas replied,
I'm reading this hadith for my video, but now I'm going to have to pronounce it as anus.
Anas replied, we used to say that the Prophet was given the strength of 30 men.
Oh, he was given the strength, all right, by al-Zut.
So if Konstantin was describing this, what he would say is...
Many people are asking is you clearly have incredible penetration.
It's that very penetration that gave Muhammad the strength of 30 men. They shot it right into him. Their incredible penetration.
This is a very fortunate choice of words, Konstantin.
Thank you, Konstantin.
I applaud you.
Keep it coming. That's what Muhammad said.
Of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard in Iran. You have incredible penetration of Hezbollah. I don't know how embedded your...
He keeps saying it, and then he says embedded, man. What is this?
I mean, you're really just skating all up in there. Like, dude, come on. Does he not know what his words mean to...
He clearly knows what he's doing. What is this?
I mean, you're just penetrating the crap out of these guys. Like, what the heck is wrong with these guys? Konstantin, dude.
It would be funny if Netanyahu started laughing as well, you know.
Operatives were within Gaza and Hamas. How did your intelligence services not see this coming? I mean, you've talked often about the fact that the London Underground is smaller than the tunnel network in Gaza. How come you didn't know? And if you did, how come it was not a red flag that all of this was about to happen?
Well, all of that I think will be answered by this impartial investigation. But I think part of it was a mindset that said that Hamas is deterred and Hamas is not going to do it. And that's a very big part of it. But on day 2 of the war, I said when Hezbollah joined after day 1, they joined day 2. And I said, we will change the face of the Middle East. Because for me, it was very clear that we were not only fighting Hamas, but we were fighting Iran with its various proxies, this noose of death that they wanted to strangle us with. And I think that that's the larger understanding that everybody has today. I don't think many people believed me at the time, but it was obvious to me that it's not enough to hit very hard, hit Hamas and hobble.
Dude, stop laughing about it.
He's sitting here talking about the penetration, and they're talking about al-Zut, and then he said, you know, what we realized with Hezbollah was that we're not gonna be al-Zuted by these guys, so we'll just nip this in the bud and blow all their Johnsons off, and then we won't get al-Zuted. And then what does he say? My goodness, man! Like, oh, we have to hit it hard. What the heck, man?
Yeah.
Did these guys coordinate like their comments?
Yeah.
For our weird show.
This is getting ridiculous, man. This interview feels like 5th grade, you know.
It does, man. We're trying to be serious. Listen to a serious interview with constantly kissing, and then all they talk about is like penetration. What the heck?
Messed up. This is a serious topic, man.
It is, man. I mean, there's a war, man.
There is indeed.
Hezbollah, but that we'd have to deal also with their sponsors and the larger axis that made this possible. So I think those lessons have been learned, certainly by Israel, and by acting against Iran's terror axis, which is meant to ultimately to conquer the West. That's what these people think. That's what they believe in. It's irrational. You say, do you believe that? Can you believe that people would actually think we'd deliver death to America and we destroy Europe? No, they couldn't possibly mean that. Well, what do you think? Do you think they mean it or not?
Well, they keep chanting it, so I'm tempted to believe them, yes.
So when you believe them, exactly the point.
That was brilliant,
man. When you believe them, then since I believed it, I think that what we had to do was ultimately take on Iran itself. And of course, on day 2, after you suffered the worst attack on Jews since the Holocaust, it may seem, you know, a ridiculous goal, an imaginary goal. No, it wasn't. It was very clear. We'll turn back. Israel will recover very quickly, and fight back and demolish Hamas, and then demolish Hezbollah, and then demolish the Assad regime, and then hit very strongly, hit Iran in ways that surprise the world. And I'm very proud of the people of Israel who stood fast, and I'm very proud of the soldiers of Israel. I call this incredible 12-day war with Iran, I call it the Rising Lion operation. And I did that because in the Bible it says that the people of Israel will rise like lions. And that's exactly what our soldiers did, and I'm very proud of them.
Yo, man, that was brilliant what he just did. So he's asked that question, then he flips it back. Hey, Iran keeps saying this. Do you believe they mean it? Right? Because that's an important question. Because as he pointed out, there are lots of people, I don't really mean that stuff. It's just saying, like some people say, I like sandwiches. So they say, death to America, death to Israel. Yes, not some big deal. People say things, not like it's going to destroy the world or something. Okay, if you actually believe them, if you think they mean what they say, you have a big, powerful nation making it their life's mission to destroy other countries. And then, of course, you have right beside you, you have Hamas, who puts it in their founding charter, the extermination of Jews. And those guys are on the other side of a fence. We don't have a lot of experience with that here. I mean, imagine you had just on the other side of a fence here in the U.S. Imagine we all lived in some tiny little state like New Jersey or something like that. And right on the other side of the fence are people who've dedicated their entire lives to completely exterminating all of us. How nice should you try to be towards them? Because what we hear is you should be really, really nice and gentle forever towards them. That's what we hear. And if you're not, well, you deserve what you get.
That is true. So I also thought the whole turning the question and asking Konstantin if he believes it was a solid move. I do want to check one thing. So one commenter from Israel said, how is this an unpopular? Oh yeah. Sefafefa says, how is it an unpopular question? It's a question we as Israelis are dealing with since that horrific day. I know, but so when I said it's an unpopular question, what I mean is it would be specifically unpopular to ask Netanyahu in an interview because there was a lot of blaming going on. When the terrorist attack happened, there was a lot of blaming each other at first. Then there was taking things back. And since then, there is blaming the Netanyahu government and then the government blaming other forces inside or simply trying to find what exactly went wrong. So unpopular because lots of people imply or claim that it was failure or deliberation on Netanyahu's part or his government's part. So that's what I meant. Let's see. Actually, let me take a few super chats here. Super.
Do you have access to them now?
Michael James said Benjamin Netanyahu. Benjamin Netanyahu, man. Ariel Gaming Axe says, yeah, good. Momo is behind me. Come and loot him. As on your profile said, love the song, boys. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Zagros, for my signed copy of the Gargarino Snitch album. It's coming right out of the oven. Your favorite made awesome song, AP. Thank you. Hu Jintao. AP, I told you many times to make a rap battle, Shia versus Sunni, please. You stupid Shia was Abu Talib's milk lactose free. You make Sunni reply. I will do that. Joshua Wooden, roast of Charlie Sheen. Anthony Jeselnik said to Mike Tyson his face that is only the second dumbest thing he has ever done. Converting to Islam was his first.
Nice.
Do you know this, David?
Based. I think that sounds familiar.
It does. Interesting. So somebody said, in Israel, we hate him. He has to go. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem that bad. It seems like an average approval rating of any regular president in America, for example. Let's see. In 2015, approval rating was 68. Right now, he's more unfavorable than favorable, but still 45% favorability versus 53% unfavorable.
Now, what is that? Is that because of the war? Or is that because of other things?
Also because of other things, I would say. But the war probably did contribute to people going unfavorable a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'm looking at this, and his popularity was already going down, not in the Muhammad and al-Zut sense, but like it was already dropping. But now it's been going up as of 2025.
Yep. So that's that. Doesn't seem that bad. Author Duck Lips Bosom Lips Zip Tight. Hu Jintao, love from Care Salman's Londonistan. Alhamdulillah, Londonistan is beautiful. Gargareno Snitch, AP's new hit coming out soon, right? Yes, it is coming out soon. It's going to be out in a few days. Skyscraper Philosopher have radar apologetics on Messianic Jewish rabbi from NYC. Awesome dude who also does DJing in his life.
Yeah, he was with us. He was with us in Times Square. And you had Sadiq Abdul-Malik tried to break out his knowledge of Hebrew, and then Radar Apologetics stepped up, started breaking things down.
That's funny. Okay, haven't heard of him, but we'll check it out. We'll check it out.
Yeah, he's got they just opened up a close to Times Square, but a Messianic Jewish synagogue or temple or whatever.
Well, I'm not sure if this is because I mentioned that I'm going to talk to Israeli Christians. But so there specifically, the goal is since Tucker Carlson, for example, came out and brought that that so-called nun and claimed that that Israel oppresses Christians and all that. I do want to talk to Messianic Jews who identify as Messianic Jews, but I also want to specifically talk to people who directly, for example, identify as Christian in the conventional sense.
Yeah, like Arab Christians in Israel, Israeli Christians.
Protestants, Catholics, Orthodox, different Israeli Christians, and get their views. I've already found like a list of lots of people who want to talk.
Well, how are you going to interview all these people after Tucker Carlson did?
That's the difficult part. Yeah, I don't know. Apple Baker, all Puff Daddy, great live stream last night. The truth hurts. It doesn't.
That was a good live stream. What did we talk about last night?
Tucker Carlson.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson. With his beautiful laughter. Wait, where is it? Michael James says, I have an answer to the Islamic dilemma for the Dilemminator. Gog and Magog took the true Injil, which mentions Mo behind the wall.
You know what's crazy is, as dumb as that sounds, at the end of the day, they have to say something like that, right? Because it just suddenly disappears. Allah's affirming it, Muhammad's affirming it, but then somehow they believe that this Injil is something given to Jesus, and it's preserved from the 1st century to the 2nd century to the 3rd century to the 4th century to the 5th century to the 6th century, all the way into the 7th century, and it's all the way down in Arabia. And then Allah tells us this is what we, as the people of the gospel, have to judge by, and then magically disappears from off the entire planet. So they have to believe something comparable to this.
Alhamdulillah. Why would they not believe it when it is so powerful? Oh, you see. Yes.
Hey.
What?
Skynet here in the chat says, Al Zut rode the Momo. But then I was thinking of a shirt that should say, save a horse, ride Muhammad. And it's a quote, and it's from Al Zut. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Save a horse, ride Muhammad.
It's not bad.
Motto of Al Zut.
Not the worst thing I've heard. Yeah. Not the worst thing at all. Anyway, let's continue.
The origin story of the Joker.
Sharia law is bad, Seth. I don't know if you've heard that. It's bad. It's worse than what's happening in New York and Detroit. It's just bad.
What the heck is wrong with this dude, man? Like, he could have just grinned or something like that, but he has to go into that Joker laugh, man. It's weird.
Hey AP, we spoke on email. Are you still in London? Do I look like I'm still in London?
Yeah, he's still in London. He brought his entire bookshelf and all his books and his mic and stuff and all that to London.
I might be in London again sometime soon. There's some more stuff to do. Inshallah, we'll see. But it might be shorter this time. So
hey, you should go to Tommy's thing, man.
I was thinking about it.
I'd go too if I were allowed.
Hey, do you like my new logo?
Super base.
Yeah.
Your stock prices are going to go way up.
Alhamdulillah. Everybody loves it.
Let me introduce you to the people I work with to protect my.
Hey, I don't get money for this.
Hey,
you're advertising.
Hey, you should get a bunch more followers, and then people will pay you huge amounts of money to advertise for, what was that, gold?
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Wouldn't that be cool?
The funny thing is, I got lots of requests in the past to advertise for gold things, and I always thought they were a scam, so I never really took them seriously. But apparently, it's real. So
yeah, I've ignored like 99.9 probably of I always get advertise this video game for us, and we'll pay you this pile of money. I'm like, oh, I'd like the pile of money, but no.
The seal of the prophet said AP's is much better. No offense to David Wood. There you go.
AP's what is much better? Bookshelf?
No, my Tucker Carlson laugh.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I can do. Oh, I'm holding back, man.
You have to try harder. You have to try harder. You need to learn, man. You need to learn. Learn from the
This
best.
takes up. I have one more question. I think even your worst critics wouldn't deny the incredible success.
Wait, why did he say he has one more question?
Yeah, like that. It's just one more question. It's going to take 29 minutes or something.
Yeah.
More question. Actual future today. Before Francis takes off, I have one more question.
That's before Francis takes
I think even your worst critics wouldn't deny the incredible success you have had in taking down the Iranian proxies and Iran's capabilities itself. But one of the things that we have heard here in the West, and I wanted to get your perspective on it, is that in the run-up to what happened on October 7th, for many, many years, Israel was allowing, the Israeli government was allowing Qatar to pump money into Hamas and using that, in effect, to strengthen Hamas against the Palestinian Authority to prevent a united Palestinian state. What do you say to those claims?
Well, I think it's hogwash. I mean, we're stuck with Hamas. I was actually against leaving Gaza and resigned from the government when it did so, when it decided to tear out the settlements, because I said this will be overtaken by Hamas, and Hamas will use it as a platform, will use Gaza, a de facto Palestinian state in Gaza, to pellet us with missiles and rockets, the surrounding cities. This was poo-pooed by the government at the time. I thought it was insane. But once they gave up Gaza, that's exactly what happened. Hamas took it over and turned it into a terror bastion. And the question was, what do you do with it? Well, there were various theories. One of it was that you have to aid the civilian population in such a way that you don't have diseases. So you've got to take care of the sewage, you've got to take care of electricity, you've got to make sure there's no famine there. And that was the policy that advocated giving money, which was partial money, by the way. Of all the money, the billions that went into Gaza, this was a fraction, and it was monitored. So it didn't really make the difference. And it also,
He did say poo-poo. I didn't want to say anything because I thought it would be too childish, but he did say poo-poo. So.
We try to keep this like sophisticated and scholarly and so on,
Yep.
but they make it really, really difficult.
Yeah. It seems that Benjamin Netanyahu is not taking this seriously. So,
What did they do with the billions that they got? Not from Qatar. The billions that they got, they built a terror city underneath, terror tunnels. Have you been to Gaza? Have you seen it?
No.
You're both welcome to come, and I'll make sure that you have a chance to
Hey, me too.
Hey,
Can I go?
yeah, we would like to go. We would like,
Want to go. We could probably actually go right now.
yeah, we would like to check out those terror tunnels. Not in the way Al Zut checked out Muhammad's terror tunnel, but come on, they keep setting up the jokes, man. There's no way this is coincidence. They know about the Al Zut stuff, and they're like, David and AP are going to be watching this, and we need to set up the jokes.
Yeah. Shalom. Yeah. I was gonna ask if we can go to Gaza quickly. Yeah, I can make more pro-Israel videos. Okay, sure. Okay, awesome. Thanks. Yeah, so I just talked to Mossad. They said, okay, it's doable. They just want us to make more videos in which we just talk positively about Israel.
Yeah, and if we can indeed check out the terror tunnels, find out if we can bring a Farfor the Terror Mouse costume, because we have been planning that for a while.
Moriwara says it's Shabbat AP, not in Israel. Over here, yes, not in Israel. Huh. In your face. Seal of the Prophets. Did you guys watch Armin's talk with Robert Spencer? Recommend it. Thank you. Yes. YouTuber Sean. What is this? Didn't I just click?
Let's just read every single super chat 15 times, according to AP.
Jack Ray said another moon was discovered orbiting Uranus, now totaling 29. When they find the 30th, maybe they can collectively be called Al Zut. Hey, that's a good idea.
Uranus has the strength of 30 moons.
Current secretary ex-Muslim Christian here, secret ex-Muslim Christian here, soon leaving my family for university and coming out as a Christian soon. Any advice? God bless. God bless you too. Thank you, David. Any advice?
Yeah, that kind of depends. Kind of depends on which where you're at in the world. It would having an idea of where you're at would affect the answer to the question about that.
Powerful, 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 powerful. Nicole, love you both. You are doing the Lord's work. Isn't it funny how being far left and far right both leads to Jew hate? LOL. Well, something really messed up happened over the last since October 7th. Things got really, really weird, shaken up. Now you have former progressive liberals talking like neo-Nazis, with Chunk Yogurt and Anna Kasparian talking about how the Jews did 9/11, and it's just all messed up. But it's kind of when things get really nasty, you see an alliance between the far left, the communists or socialists, the Nazis or the neo-Nazis today, and the Islamists. They like to come together when things get very bad.
That's gonna happen more and more. Watch, Candace is gonna go full. Sharia is great. Islam is wonderful. Hodge twins already started doing it, man. They were giving like straight up dawa propaganda about. I mean, they actually quoted Surah 5 verse 32, the heavily edited version that we heard so many years from dawa clowns, that if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. And the reasoning was, what they said was, since Islam teaches that if anyone kills a man, it's as if he's killed all mankind. Islam is against killing, and therefore it's impossible that Iran would actually want a nuclear weapon, and therefore all of this is just complete nonsense. Iran does not want a nuclear weapon because of what the Quran says.
Here we have a poster that both David and I got from the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., on which you can see the badges that were on the prisoners in concentration camps, especially in Auschwitz. And it says on here, whoever destroys a single life destroys the entire world. Whoever saves a single life saves the world entire. And what does it say under there?
Talmud.
Talmud. Talmud.
But by the way, isn't it funny that you've got the Hodge twins who not very big fans of the Jews, and to show that Iran was unjustly targeted because they don't actually want to hurt anyone, because they can't, because Islam forbids it. Their evidence for that is a quote from the Talmud. That is in Surah 5 verse 32, and of course they completely leave out the very next verse, which says that if someone makes mischief in a Muslim land, you have to kill them, crucify them, chop off body parts, and things like that. In other words, all the stuff that Hamas did and that Iran tries to do to Israel is justified in the very next verse of the Quran, the one that actually applies to Muslims, and not the quotation from the Talmud.
Yeah, what basically happened here, it seems, is that Muhammad in Medina has the Jews around, the Jewish community of Medina, who according to the records made that place actually awesome. He has the Jews around. The Jews say things to him, and the Jews also tell him that according to their teachings, whoever kills one person has killed all mankind, and whoever saves one has saved all mankind. So Muhammad hears that and thinks, oh, this is what Allah revealed. Allah revealed. So what Muhammad does is he has a revelation where Allah says, and we told the Jews that whoever kills one person has killed all mankind. But then he overrides that with basically afterwards ordering slaughter of anyone who opposes Islam. So that's it. That's Islam. That's what it does.
Hey, and you know what's exceptionally amusing about all that is the claim makes sense in the Talmud, and it makes zero sense in the Quran, because they're leaving something out. So we've discussed this numerous times, but it is important for people to get their minds around this. In the Talmud, It's giving a commentary on the story of Cain and Abel. And it's in the Quran. The story of Cain and Abel is right before that verse. It's the story of Cain and Abel. And in the Talmud, they have the story of Cain and Abel. And then a rabbi points out that when God says to Cain, your brother's blood cries out from the ground, it actually says your brother's bloods cry out from the ground. And he says, therefore, God is trying to tell us that this isn't just about Cain killing Abel. It's about Cain killing Abel and thus killing all of his future descendants as well in that one killing. All the bloods cry out from the ground. You killed us all with this one killing. And it says, therefore, and then he draws the principle out. Well, in the Quran, it just goes straight from the story of Cain and Abel. And it says, therefore, and it's like, therefore what? Where are you getting, therefore, if you killed a man, if you've killed all mankind, right after the story of Cain and Abel? Without what the rabbi said, it makes no sense. There's no connection between the two. So it makes perfect sense in the Talmud. Muhammad, not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Alhamdulillah. Anyway.
Yeah, but you got to see the unseen underground city that they did. So they built tunnels with the vast aid that they got from elsewhere. I didn't believe that Hamas was going to make peace with us. I thought Hamas had to be constantly cut back. I myself, of the 4 military operations that we had since the rise of Hamas, since its takeover of Gaza, I led 3 operations to cut them down, not to accommodate them, killed some of their senior leaders. But there was a question whether we had the consensus, both national and international, to go into Gaza and wipe them out. And the answer was we didn't have it. After October 7th, that changed. We had that consensus, at least for a while, until the Western leaders buckled. But that doesn't change our understanding that we have to get rid of Hamas.
Did you know about the terror tunnels before October the 7th? Were you aware that they were building them?
Yes, of course. We knew. We didn't.
Everybody knew about them. Mm-hmm. Everybody knew about them. And Israel kept telling the world about them. Everybody knew about it. But this is just the most messed up thing, man. The entire world knew about it. The UN, human rights organizations, multiple countries knew about it. They knew for a fact that Hamas is building a whole underground network purely for terrorism. The funny thing is that when you listen to the Arabic speeches of Hamas, when they speak to the masses, when they speak to their own people, they also openly acknowledge pretty much everything. They openly acknowledge that they want to eradicate the Jews. They openly acknowledge that they don't care about protecting the people because they want to build underground tunnel networks so they can carry out terrorist attacks. They openly say that they want the bloods, that they want as much blood as possible, which will ignite the revolutionary spirit of the people. They say that they want to establish a caliphate and not just end with Palestine and all that. But the world just ignores it. The UN just ignores it. The countries of the world just ignore it. And even when they carry out a brutal terrorist attack and Israel finally takes advantage of it and rightly responds, even then the UN is like, what's going on? Why would you do that? Why would you treat them so harshly? Well, because you don't do anything. Anyway.
Know the full extent because it's underground and there are limited ways. I think Israel has very good intelligence, but intelligence is collection, and that is always limited. And then you have to have your assessments. That is also limited. Yes, did we know about underground tunnels? Of course, yeah, we know it. Yeah.
Prime Minister, you just used.
They should have brought in. They should have hired the Al Zut. They know how to find the tunnels, man.
Yeah. They should have missed opportunity. Missed opportunity. Now Pope Francis comes in.
The Western leaders buckled.
Yeah.
Prime Minister, you've just used the words, the Western leaders buckled. And I'm assuming what you're referring to is Keir Starmer's statement on the 25th of July, where he said that the UK would recognise a Palestinian state. What is your response to that? And do you think that was just going to essentially encourage Hamas to continue their resistance?
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, look, they commit the greatest savagery against Jews since the Holocaust. And the Prime Minister of Britain says, we'll reward you with a de facto state, which is committed openly to repeating the October.
Well, to be fair, I have to say one thing here. To be fair, if Islamic terrorists committed such a terrorist attack in Britain, the Prime Minister of Britain would also offer them a state or their own state in Britain. So
and tens of thousands of 12-year-old British girls as an offering.
Yeah. So I can't necessarily accuse him of hypocrisy or of anything there, because I think he's just consistent. He would also, if terrorists raped and murdered a bunch of British people, Keir Starmer would also give them their own country on the British Isles. So yeah.
7th massacre over and over and over again. And they say, well, no, look, we recognize Israel's right to defend itself. You know, they always add that. You hear that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of
okay.
course.
Well, they recognize Israel's right to defend itself as long as Israel doesn't exercise that right. So now let's imagine.
That's funny. We agree you have the right to defend yourself as long as you never exercise that right. The moment you do, we got a problem.
That's actually pretty good.
That is funny. He amused Konstantin.
Yeah. Even Konstantin smiled. And nobody makes Konstantin smile. Yeah.
Response of Britain, well, in your case, about 15,000 people or 10,000 people would be butchered in one day, and you'd have, 2,500 hostages taken. Would you say, oh, well, we should give our attackers a state right next to London? Of course not.
That's exactly
what would the Americans
they would do that.
Yeah. BB, you're thinking like an Israeli, not like a British politician. If you were asking that to Keir Starmer, oh, of course I would. Of course I'd give them a state.
If they put all the effort into raping our girls, why wouldn't we give them a state?
Of course. Jolly good, jolly good. We say jolly good show.
They don't know better.
Say if you had 50,000 Americans butchered, okay, and thousands of Americans taken hostage. Obviously, they'd say, no, we're not going to give them a state, sort of not in New Jersey, but right in Manhattan, that's ridiculous. So what the standard that is being applied is not merely wrong, it's just downright
Jeremiah said Israel worships Baal, son of Satan. Well, so does your mom. So
burn.
Dangerous because
see how easy it is to say things.
Yeah.
Applied to Manhattan, that's ridiculous. So what the standard that is being applied is not merely wrong, it's just downright dangerous because you're really rewarding these monstrous terrorists with the greatest prize, and that's because of weakness. It's weakness. It's weakness in the face of distorted media.
Keir Starmer, you're weak.
Packed social networks, packed with bots. Bought, bots. BOUGHT, BOTS, bots. But it's also
I'm glad he spelled that out.
Yeah, because I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought he was just.
He could have just said purchased bots.
Yeah, they purchased bots.
Learn English, BB. What is this?
These radical minorities, which are protesting there. And by the way, you should ask your Starmer. Here's a suggestion. Ask him. Okay, what are these protesters saying?
I should ask him. Hey, can I also have an interview with Benjamin Netanyahu, with my usual way of talking and interviewing people?
Yes, we would say, Bibi, what do you think of
the Al-Zut?
Al-Zut.
See, I would even.
Well, they are extremely based.
I will even prepare all my questions. I will put them right in my notebook here, and give them all to you so you can evaluate them. And look, it's a very special one. It's a Dragon Ball Z notebook. So that also has this thing here.
That's pretty cool.
It would be very, very cool. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I've told you before that I keep hearing from Indians going, so proud of what our great grandparents did to that man. Right? That's exactly what we did. He deserved it. Right? He deserved every second. So I got tons of those. But the other day I saw As a Chinese man, I just want to praise my Indian brothers for what they did to Muhammad. So now you got Chinese people also chiming in, saying they approve.
That's pretty messed up.
And it's going to bring good relations between China and India, not relations in the old sense, but you know what I mean.
Sarah said Rebecca because Rebecca just came here and blew a bunch of kisses. Everybody's being kissed by Rebecca here right now. Rebecca is like, she's like Orthodox lips Muslim.
Constantly kissing.
What's up, Rebecca? Good to see you here. Hope you're doing well. Yes.
About Britain. I know what they say about Israel. Israel has to be destroyed from the river to the sea. But by the way, you should ask your Starmer. Here's a suggestion. Ask him, okay? What do these protesters say about Britain? I know what they say about Israel. Israel has to be destroyed from the river to the sea. You think this is a massive continent. It's all of 30, 40 miles, okay? But what do they say about Britain? Well, Britain should go down. What do they say about the UK? And the same for the protesters in the US. They burn Israeli flags, they burn American flags, and they burn the UK flag. So they're basically a hostile minority.
This is the funny thing that you recognize whenever you go and actually witness a pro-Palestine march, a pro-Palestine rally. I mean, go to London and look at a pro-Palestine rally. How many British flags will you see there? 0. Like the other day, when I was in London, for example, and we went to this little, this protest, which is a protest by patriots against the placement of refugees within a certain part of London. So patriots come out there and protest with their English flags, with the St. George flag and the Union Jack flag. They are protesting there. The counter-protesters, who are leftists, Antifa and all these other communist nut jobs, they are the ones who suddenly, all of a sudden, completely unrelated, start with free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine, free Palestine, down with Zionism, Israel, genocide. What the hell? What does it have to do with anything? What does it have to do with the refugees? They actually bring their Palestine flags to the event, which has nothing at all to do with Palestine or Israel. It is literally a protest organized by British patriots who come there to say we don't want refugees here. The counter-protesters are leftists who come with pro-Palestine flags, and they are the same people who say down with the UK, down with Britain, Nazis, you're all Nazis, let all the refugees in, have as many refugees come here as possible, let them rape us, and by the way, free Palestine. Very same people. The anti-West, the pro-chaos crowd is the very same crowd that is also pro-Palestine. That's their side. That's what they are. That's what they do.
Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Supporting monstrosities. And I think that it's shameful the way that the Western leaders in Britain, in France, in Canada, in New Zealand, the way they buckle under. They don't have, Europe has gone through the destruction of the Jews. 80 years later, that's what they have to say. They attack the Jewish state. And they give a prize for those who would destroy the one and only Jewish state. Shameful.
Mm-hmm.
Prime Minister.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Sick.
You're sick.
You're sick. You're sick.
So Lubna said on Great Britain news that she may have to seek political asylum in the United States, said Seth. I didn't see what she said, but she was just on Andrew Gold's Heretics, and then she also went on GB News, I think.
Yeah, imagine that. Anyone who criticizes Islam is no longer safe in Great Britain. If only someone had spent the past 2 decades warning them that Islam will lead to this.
She didn't even criticize Islam. What she did was just criticize Muslims or criticize how Muslims treat her for the things that she says and does.
And she was calling out like the grooming gangs and so on, and she had like completely good intentions from the perspective of Muslims who want to get along with people. She's saying, hey, when something like this happens and there's all these grooming gangs and we don't say anything about it, we're just yeah, who cares? That makes an impression on people. And so we need some better representation. We need to be calling out this stuff when it happens. And that's too much for the Muslim community. No, you can't call that out. You can't say a word critical of gang raping tons of little girls. Not according to us.
You know what? I actually want to take a break very briefly from Netanyahu and look at this because I like Andrew Gold, and I also am interested in what she
How
said.
come everyone has a super dope studio except us?
He doesn't have it. He just pays for it per.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's better then.
Yeah, he rents different places and stuff.
Said, look.
She talked about grooming gangs and said Muslims must take responsibility, as it seems. I really wonder what she says here.
Address the concerns people have. People are suspicious of people from our background, right now. They think that we're not loyal. They think we're out to get them, or we're trying to take over Sharia law, whatever. Address the concerns. Grooming gangs. Okay, you cannot blame non-Muslim people for linking the grooming gangs to our religion, because the groomers linked it when they were coming out the court. They said Allahu Akbar when they were coming, when they were doing these kind of things. The excuse they gave is, oh, in our country, Pakistan, the age is this. Of this person's not seen as a child. So they're linking it to the culture, that they're linking it to the religion. They're the ones who are saying that they are talking about non-Muslim women being filthy and all this kind of stuff, justifying the disgusting deeds. So had the Muslims in this country had the decency to condemn these horrible, disgusting people the way they should have been condemned, and held these grooming gang members solely responsible for non-Muslims linking things to the religion, I think we would have been closer to uniting this country. But sadly, because a lot of the people in this country don't have.
She's surprisingly well spoken, considering that Muhammad said that that women have half the intellect of a man.
Yeah, we should. Hey, that would be a very easy video to make. The real reason Muslims hate Lubna is she completely destroys what Muhammad said, because she's way smarter than they are, and it destroys their faith in Muhammad.
British values in terms of people from my background, they don't understand what English people are thinking. So I would like people from my race and religion to have empathy. Our parents, our grandparents came here. No one asked us to come here. So you're not doing anyone a favor by being here. So now that we're here, it is upon us. It's our duty to be empathetic towards the English people, understand what concerns do they have.
Yes. Preach it. Good stuff. Maybe we should review this whole thing, man. Seems like a very, very good thing. I have thought in the past of inviting her and having a conversation with her, but I have thus far avoided it because I don't want to associate her with myself.
Yeah, I would agree that she's already getting blasted, not the way Muhammad got blasted by the men of Al-Zut, but yeah, it will be used as evidence that she's evil, and therefore justification for even more hostility and more threats against her.
Yep. Bash says, is AP coming back to London on September 13th? I very much do want to attend Tommy's rally. I want to see it. I want to be there. Probably also going to talk to Tommy if he even has the time after that. Not sure. Might be. I don't know. We'll see. I do want to do that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've been traveling too much lately. So Nicole said, "Love you both." Already read this. What's wrong with you? AP, can you collab with Rascal Flats to make Momo as a highway? Al-Zut gonna ride him all night long.
Momo's a highway. Al-Zut gonna ride him all night long.
And put it on the album. It will be so zootiful.
We need to start saying zootiful.
Beautiful. That's good. Hu Jintao said, "Did you see China is now sterilizing Muslims en masse in Xinjiang and giving tax breaks to Uyghur women marrying Han man? They only care about outcomes." I don't really know. I also don't really care, honestly. As a new profile, no, we don't hate Jesus or Mary. We are fully aware Jesus was born and died Jewish and lived as a religious Jewish life. The Bible clearly says so. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
You see, they're lying to cover up their hatred.
Oh. Win or lose, Christianity is growing in Israel. Why would they allow that if they hate Jesus? No, well, it's because they're trying to trick you into thinking that they are tolerant. Oh, that's what the Jews
Very
do.
smart. The Jews are very smart.
Oh. Too sexy from my hair made a super chat. Thank you very, very much.
Too sexy for my hair.
Zachary Galbi, I'm part of the tribe. I don't hate Jesus, but don't think he's God. How dare you?
What? He said he doesn't hate Jesus. He's a liar.
You're banned from
Daniel Hakikachu and that dude in the chat said all Jews spend every waking moment cursing Jesus.
Go with Christ said, "Did you see the Lawrence Southern tweet from 2 days ago of Tucker's guest saying one can make the argument we could have sided with Hitler?" I haven't seen it. I also haven't really seen what he said or what his guest said. The thing is, there's just so much insanity and garbage coming out from two people here, Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, that I have a very hard time following every single vile and nonsensical garbage that they produce nowadays.
Yeah, that dude was saying that we were basically duped into opposing Hitler. One could make the argument that we should have sided with Hitler against the communists.
The hell is wrong with people, man? The heck is wrong with people? I spent a good amount of today looking at reading reports of Hitler and things that he said about Christianity. It's kind of funny. I would like to bring that out sometime. Kaya Leafy, thanks for finally speaking to Tal, the traveling clad. Tal apparently published a conversation between himself and me on his YouTube channel. The funny thing is that conversation is from like a year ago or two. So I was surprised that it popped up. There's a conversation with me and him, and I'm like, wait a minute. When did we talk?
That's funny. A year or two ago, you'd have been like,
as a true atheist, I condemn all religion, and I will destroy all religion for the sake of Richard Dawkins.
Look, I don't look like this anymore. I've grown up now. So
yeah, look, you're just a kid, man.
Yeah, just a little child.
Look at your background too. What is that?
Just a little child without books in his bag. But yeah, so this was from a while ago, but I'm kind of happy to see that he published it because I love Tal. I think he's a very, very good guy. The Tal Oran Traveling Clad, that's his channel. He at some point had half the subscriber count that I had. Now he has the same subscriber count that I have. So,
and that means that a year from now he's going to have twice the subscriber count as you.
Yeah, people like him and what he does. He's a good commentator. He's a good guy. So shout out to Tal here.
And you'll be like, and like a year from now, you'll be like, "Hey, can I come on your channel? You've got such a big channel." And he'll be like, "No, you're just a weakling."
He's like, "Who are you?
Who are you? Not good enough to be on my channel."
But well deserved. He's a very good guy. Love him. So yeah.
They would say that the amount of casualties that have now been inflicted upon the Palestinian people, the suffering that the Palestinian civilians are going through, that Israel has achieved practically all of its aims. And if Israel continues to perpetuate this war, what it's going to do is it's going to radicalize the population even more so. The more population gets radicalized, the more that joins Hamas. So essentially what Israel will be trapped in is a forever war. What do you say to that argument?
I think the forever war is the opposite. I think if we leave them there and they're committed to our destruction, then you'll have a forever war. But what is happening on the ground is actually the opposite. What is happening on the ground is we now have Gazans who are fighting Hamas because they see now in the closing phase of this war, after we had to go through these 7 fronts against all the proxies and Iran itself, and now we're circling back to finish off Hamas and
finish them
stronghold in Gaza. They see hope. They say, don't let up. Gazans, they kill Hamas. They fight Hamas. They die fighting them. And they're saying, this is our final hope to free ourselves from this tyranny. This tyranny that has caused them endless suffering.
Moshe said, I had to stop, dry my hands to type that this is such a lie, and it's amazing he's still doing this. Amazing. They should have Mossab on. This is just... What are you referring to, Moshe? Who? What? Who needs to stop doing that? What's a lie? What are you referring to? Do you know what he's referring to? Moshe, what are you referring to? Moshe, I don't know what you're talking about, Moshe. Moshe, I don't know what you're saying, Moshe. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you saying, Mosh? Clarify. Clarify your comments.
Explain yourself.
You said when you say this is such a lie, and we've been live for an hour and a half.
And why were your hands? What were you doing with your hands? What were you doing with your hands?
Why were your hands wet?
Why were your hands wet? Why did you have to dry your hands? What were you doing with them? Explain yourself.
And it has not invested a penny of the billions that they received for the people of Gaza. So quite the opposite. It's free. We're fighting. You hear the slogan, "Free Gaza." I agree. Free Gaza from Hamas terror. Free Gaza from Hamas tyranny. Now, as far as Israel's performance on the battlefield, this is the fraud. It's not merely the starvation fraud. It's the genocide fraud. If we wanted to commit genocide, we would have done it in one afternoon. We have the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
I get the point, but every time he says that, it's like I feel like, oh, okay, yeah, I wish he didn't say that. It is kind of a messed up thing to say. Like, if you wanted to kill them all, we would have just done it in a single day.
Yeah, you could have done it right after the October 7th attacks and just completely wiped everyone out.
The funny thing is, the way that the world and the UN and the media and all that is treating Israel right now, with how they have conducted the war, there would have probably not been much of a difference had Israel just carpet bombed the entire place on day one. Yeah. Don't know. That's what it looks like. But it is true. They could have done that. The funny thing is, had they actually indiscriminately carpet bombed the Gaza Strip, the civilians would have, lots of civilians would have died, and the Hamas bastards wouldn't have died. They would still have survived. Because the Hamas bastards do not protect the civilian population. They only protect themselves by going into underground tunnels, which they built. Because they are rats. Rats. All of them.
But we don't do that. Look at the way the Allied forces fought in Fallujah. Look at the way they fought in Mosul. It took them 9 months against 3,000 terrorists. 9 months. 3,000 terrorists. We face 10 times the number of terrorists. And what do? We call up the Palestinian civilians and we say, leave the area. Millions. Millions of text messages, millions of individual phone calls. Please get out. And Hamas stands there and tries to prevent them by shooting them.
Hamas actually tells them that they should not collaborate. They should not do what Israel says. So Israel does send. It's so funny. Every time it happens, Israel drops flyers to tell them to get out and go into these different zones. Places phone calls, broadcast things, sends drones that speak through loudspeakers, telling them to evacuate to such and such zones. Every time they do that, you have people complaining that Israel treats them like subhumans, telling them to go somewhere else. Dude, they're trying to prevent you from dying in a bombing. And what Hamas does is Hamas categorically says every single time, stay where you are, do not leave, do not collaborate with Israel, with the Zionist occupation. Those who listen to Israel are collaborators of the Zionist occupation. That's what they say. Traitors. That's how they treat their own people.
Killing them. So what do you think? Is that genocide? No, it isn't. You know it isn't. And yet Israel is being blamed. And of course, the ratio of combatants to non-combatants killed is about 1.5 to 1, which is probably, I think every civilian death is a tragedy. We do everything we can, as no army has done in history in such dense urban warfare, to prevent it. But Israel can't be, it's not merely that it can't be held to a higher standard. It's held to an impossible standard. I mean, look at the Allies in World War II. You know what they did when they went into Congress? Do you know, Konstantin? Do you know what did they do? Tell me, what did they do? Did they call civilians to leave? Did they give them, caravans of food? Did anything of that like that happen? No.
Well, let's be honest, and this is an argument I've made myself. At the end of World War II, we flattened Germany because they made us, because we had to destroy the military infrastructure, the transportation infrastructure to actually be able to win the war. But we live in a very different age now, don't we, Prime Minister, where all the atrocities of war are instantly available to everybody around the world on social media. And that is something you said in your own press conference last week when you said, when you were asked whether Israel is winning the PR war, you said...
it's funny because Konstantin kind of just brushed it off what Netanyahu said, but this is actually what happened. We have watched forever heroic movies about World War II and how the troops go in and handle the situation there and defeat their opponents and all of that. But World War II was followed by the flight and the mass killing of Germans in many places, and it was considered okay, and nobody talks about it because of what they did. It was the response. There are so many wars going on. There have been wars going on over the last decades, many of which are significantly worse than what Israel is doing. Everybody's talking about Israel. We know exactly why. There are currently two major wars going on that we talk about in the media in the West. One of them is significantly worse than the other. It is the Russian war in Ukraine. It is significantly worse than the Israel-Hamas war. Significantly worse, especially in terms of targeting civilian infrastructure, targeting civilians. Russia doesn't care about telling people to evacuate. They bomb apartment buildings, hospitals, and so on. It is significantly worse by every single standard than the Israel-Hamas war. But everybody talks about the Israel-Hamas war.
You said we're definitely not, and that's putting it very mildly. So that's the challenge you face now, isn't it?
Yes, but I never thought of Winston Churchill as a war criminal, but I guess he would be held as such today. But of course, it's not really towards the end of the war that you flatten Germany. When you cross when you cross the Channel in Normandy, and you went into the cities, you just bombed these cities, tank fire, artillery fire, air fire, without giving notice or anything like that. And you did it because you had to destroy the enemy. So you're right. It's a different era. That's why we are acting differently. And we are we're holding ourselves to the highest standard, and yet we're being condemned by those who know better and even saw their own troops in Afghanistan or in Iraq. Be that as it may, it's very hard to fight the deception, the lies, the starved children, the pictures of starved children who turn out to have cerebral palsy or other congenital diseases that leave them emaciated. And Israel is, of course, accused of starving children, pretty much the way that in the Middle Ages Jews were accused of killing Christian children for their blood. So, what do you do against the lie that circles the earth 10 times before the truth has a chance to emerge? You have to shorten the war as speedily as possible. And frankly, we also have to do something about the algorithms and the social networks. This is a big challenge. I don't want to dismiss it. But look, we Jews have been fighting and losing the propaganda war for about 2,500 years. Well, what's different now is that we're winning the ground war. We're forcing, what comes after the propaganda vilification is massacres, and what we're doing now. Massacres that we were completely defenseless with. Right now,
based.
After the vilifications come the attacks, but we're winning those attacks. That's the change. And the faster we win, I think the faster the propaganda war will dissipate.
Based.
If you're someone who values free
speech, hey, what is this?
Then our sponsor, Venice AI.
Venice AI, I've never heard of that. What is it?
Oh. I do like uncensored AI.
That sounds like, let me see, Venice AI. Let me try Venice AI right now. Was Muhammad a pedophile? Let's see. Huh. Not too bad. Let's see. Venice AI. So I asked, was Muhammad a pedophile? It said, Muhammad, the founder of Islam, married Aisha when she was a young girl, typically estimated to be around 6 years old at the time of their engagement, and around 9 years old when the marriage was consummated. By modern standards, this would be considered pedophilia.
Dude, make a little video on this about how great Venice AI is.
As it involves, well, they're not paying me, so why would I do that? As it involves a sexual relationship with a child who is not yet physically or emotionally mature. In the context of his time, such marriages were not uncommon and were seen as a way to establish alliances and protect young girls.
Oh, yeah. He was trying to establish an alliance by boning a 9-year-old girl.
If Muhammad married Aisha today, would he go to prison? Would he be called rightly a pedophile?
He said rightly.
Yes.
Yes. Nice. Based. Hey, you should come up with like a couple of these questions and then ask Chat GPT, ask Grok, ask the various AI systems, and so that way people get a good comparison of what they're dealing with.
So imagine Muhammad is alive today and marries Aisha as he did back then. Is Muhammad a pedophile? Yes. Okay. I got it. I just want a short response, man. Short response.
Just say yes, man.
Is Muhammad a pedophile? Yes.
You're talking us to death, Venice AI.
Yes.
I'm liking this Venice AI, man.
Nice. Anyway, enough free advertising for Venice AI. Alhamdulillah.
Hey, we should make Al-Zut AI.
We should.
Every question you ask, there's an Al-Zut joke in there.
Zut AI. Zut AI. You find that funny, don't you? Huh. Anyway, anything else, David?
No, that's good.
Okay, good. We have 20 more minutes or 15 more minutes to go in the interview, but I'm kind of getting tired of listening to Konstantin talk so much. Rick Newton says, if aliens abducted Momo, would he fight the probe? No. He would love it.
That should be an alternative theory, is that it was aliens and they were probing
him. Yeah.
I would go in that. If Muslims, if you want to explain that, I would go in that direction.
It was actually aliens. This is the proof that Muhammad interacted with aliens before anyone else.
Ami Kozak preparing to an interview also gets it. I still need to check that out. Thank you, Yanni. Austin, I just subscribed to Giant DOC. Everyone in the chat, if you enjoy their content, help them out, and their subscription is cheaper than the super chat.
Yeah, it's actually cool. Giant DOC just got channel memberships and super chats available now.
Nice.
So everyone be sure to catch them on their new live. Everyone go over. I think they only put like 99 cents for a membership. So there's that. So everyone should become a member of Giant DOC's channel. Again, 99 cents. I told them to make a much higher level and call it the Al-Zut level.
They should do that. Yeah.
But not in the Muhammad's butt sense, but definitely check out one of their shows and see if the super chats work.
Interesting.
I wonder if they have super thanks. Let me go over and check.
I can say super thanks. Hey, super thanks. Thanks so much, man. Itadakimasu says, years ago, I had a try to get me to convert from Christianity. He was even lining up husbands for me and tried to get me to say the Shahada without telling me what it was. By God's grace, I couldn't.
You see how they do that, by the way? Lining up husbands and stuff like that. They want to get you married and pregnant as soon as possible so that by the time you're realizing how they lied to you, it's too sort of costly for you to try and leave. That's basically standard.
It's called basically. Ash Mays, what's up, Ash? Do people not understand that there are very good reasons to support Israel, regardless of any theological implications? Well, people are kind of stupid. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, why are you supporting Israel when it's clearly not in alignment with your specific religious beliefs? Israel is in the Bible. No, that's not why I support Israel. It has very, very simple reasons why I support Israel. Okay, so now I just tried out Venice's AI image creation thing, and it kind of sucks. So, but at least it did follow my commands, and I asked it to create an image of Muhammad 53 and Aisha 6, and it created this image. It's kind of lame though. It looks terrible. This looks even worse than Grok images. So they need to work on that. Venice, your images suck. Anyway, this is Muhammad and Aisha. So
hey, this is cool. Hang on, I'm testing it right now. Does it go through? Does it work? Does it work? Does it work? Work. Ha! Yes, it worked. I tested the super thanks on Giant DOC's channel. I did not think they would ever have access to that because they blast Muhammad, not the way El Zut blasted him, but yeah, now they have super thanks. Everyone to get a chance, go leave a super thanks on one of their recent live streams. Cool. Cool. They haven't had this opportunity before, so this is new. So that's cool.
I'm super thankful. Emmanuel and Christ says the boss is pleased with you too. Operational Zut is coming together quite virile. You have penetrated the Muslim ranks via your Christian disguise. Good job. Mr. Netanyahu sends his regards. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Based.
We're working very hard. Ophelia, I love you too so much. I don't love Muhammad so much. Feces be upon him. That's very, very rude.
And Islamophobic.
And I like it. Very, very nice. Thank you. Your favorite mate. I really like the street debate video that you did, Mr. Wood. You three did an amazing job. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was thinking afterwards, man, we need to roll up into Dearborn like that, because there I think we get more Muslims showing up. They were terrified to show up. I think you got like between 700,000 and 1 million, something like that, Muslims in New York, and no one wants to stand up for Islam except for a couple of random guys.
Alan Zutman Alan Zutman says David Wood AP hardest to easiest out of the three. Number 1, 3 months of Ramadan fasting. Number 2, 3 months of eating only vegan. Number 3, months of living with Mike Winger.
3 months of living with Mike Winger would be like unbearable. Vegan wouldn't like it, but I can do it. Ramadan fasting, that's easy. I pointed out that since I stay up at night and sleep during the day, I almost Ramadan fast year round, because anyway.
Year round, Ramadan fast. I told it to write Muhammad and Aisha. On top of it, it wrote Muhammad and Aishi, but yeah, whatever.
Uncensored.
Well, mine would be, of course, the easiest is living with Mike Winger, which is what everybody would want. Second easiest would be 3 months of Ramadan fasting. And then the hardest would be eating only vegan for 3 months. Rick Newton, the reason Momo liked to prostrate before Allah is really hindsight 2020, 20 out of 20. Allah is really al-Zud. When you read Allah from Arabic into Aramaic when translated by CNN, you see the proof. You're finished, boy. Why are you stuttering? This is a good analysis. I like it. Goated hunger. AP, please unban hungry goat or no Mossad money for you. I will see. Hu Jintao, reading Konstantin Kissin's voice and accent. One last question, Mr. Netanyahu. Did Prophet Muhammad enjoy the night of al-Zut?
Well, that's one of the things that archaeology has discovered, that Muhammad's favorite night of his entire life was the night of al-Zut. And all the great archaeologists have confirmed this.
But wouldn't you say that he would have shared his happiness with the people so that we would also know about it today?
I'm just giving you the facts.
And now Pierce comes in. Hang on.
You said Pierce.
I did. Jack Ray, the real mystical night ride was on Muhammad, not by Muhammad. That's funny. Your favorite mate, sadly, the Hodge twins have been brainwashed. That's true. Eunuch Pets, Jay Smith said,
hey, that would be a funny that would be a funny title for one of the Zoot videos. Muhammad's real night journey. That'd be funny. that might be on my thumbnail for my next Zoot video. Muhammad's real night journey.
Ladies, Vedas, would Muhammad consider traps gay? Yes. Cracklin, do you think Muhammad was teabagged on the night of Al-Zud? And if so, should that be incorporated into their sacred tradition? Yes. Rebecca Barsef says, Rebecca, what's up, Rebecca? By the way, BB blinks really slow every time he lies. That's pretty rude of you to say. Nurse loves coffee. Rebecca, consent is important. I know next time you could draw a line in the sand. Never mind. Yeah. Rebecca is 3 years old. Knows too much. The problem Islam and Palestinianism isn't properly addressed. The Muslim occupiers of Gaza are shielded from consequences for the genocidal war they started. Well, they won't be shielded very, very much further because Israel is not stopping it.
Ain't no Diddy line to protect these guys.
Yep. Knows too much says they elected support and agree with Hamas on genocidal jihad on Israel and Jews. Same evil ideology of Palestinianism that the West gives moral sanction to. This is true, and the West needs to wake up. Knows too much said terrible that Bibi perpetuates the lie that the Muslim occupiers of Gaza have nothing to do with Hamas, as if Hamas came from outer space, not from them. Oh, is that what Moshe was referring to as well? I don't know. I didn't even really.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Did Mosh ever clarify what he's talking about? You should do a search for Mosh and see if he answered. If he was saying that, because we didn't know what he's talking about. If it was that, then yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, Mosh. What's Mosh? Yanni K said it's Yanni. I know. That's what I said. Isn't it what I said? It's Yanni.
It's Janie.
No, it's Yanni. It's literally Yanni. Look at that.
Janie. It says it right there. Janie K.
It's literally Yanni. Look. She said it's Yanni.
It's Janie.
Excuse me. In Germany, we say Yanni.
I don't care what you say in Germany. You say all kinds of stupid stuff.
Fine. Yeah, I guess it's Janie then. I thought the word is German. Ayatollah Khamenei, Israel has been defended by God. Why would God abandon the nation he established? Why would he abandon his own people from whom the son was birthed through Mary, the God bearer? Now you're crossing lines here. Very, very cool. Thank you. Well, I don't want to go into the theological ins and outs of that. Alan Zutman.
You said ins and outs.
David Wood, were you and Mike Winger once close friends?
No.
I saw an old live stream of you and Mike Winger, and you looked so happy. It looked like BFFs. What happened?
That's what evil people do. Evil, like manipulators, narcissists, and so on. They convince you that they're okay to hang out with you and stuff like this, and then they reveal their true evil colors over time. And so Mike Winger comes up, hey, let's do a live stream. And you think, okay, who's this loser? But let's be nice to this guy. And then over time, the fake exterior comes off, revealing the evil snail that lies underneath. The snail comes out of its shell.
Powerful. By the way, Ash, congratulations. I hit 10K on Thursday. I didn't think anyone would want to hear me talk about anything, but it seems I was wrong. Yeah, you have good videos. So
I just looked. Yeah, I just glanced over at his channel, and he's getting a good number of views on his videos. So that means people are interested.
Oh yeah, there is a video.
Give to that challenge actually makes it more and more awkward for the rabbinical position towards Christianity. So let's get into that a little bit.
Is that a real beard?
In the Hebrew scriptures, in the Bible, every time.
That's not a real beard. It's fake.
He's trying, because that would be an extremely based beard if that were real.
No, he has a wrong beard. He has a fake beard to try to look more, try to look more manly. But everyone knows it's fake, of course. Everybody knows it's fake. Nobody has a beard like that. It'll be ridiculous. Yes, beard is real. Huh, interesting.
Time that is
anyway, he has good videos, it seems. So and you see I'm subscribed. It says here I'm subscribed. I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to look at Aisha and Muhammad anymore, man. I'm sick of this. Let's look at Konstantin. A few more super chats here. Ayatollah Khamenei says, AP, I would urge you to stay the course with orthodoxy. I am. Why do you have any doubts or questions about this? I am literally staying. I'm literally going to church tomorrow.
Bull. Daniel Hikikaju said that you apostatized.
Well, Daniel Hikikaju is retarded, so.
Well, say what you want. He's way smarter than his prophet was.
That's true. That's true. I have to give him that. He said penetrated. Ayatollah Khamenei, I'd urge you to stay the course with orthodoxy. Ignore Twitter and people who have been attracted to the politics. The path to Christ is through practicing the ancient discipline of Christian life and the practices of the church. Forget the rest. I appreciate the reminder, but I am doing it.
Why is anyone going to take advice from an Ayatollah?
Yeah. I do not. I mean, momentarily, when I had a bunch of people attacking me for calling the terrible nun, the so-called nun, a devil, and it really escalated and all that. It was like, it felt really, 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 really bad. But in the long term, I think I didn't start going to church because of the people, you know. So it is what it is. Alhamdulillah. If it was because of the people, I would be a Protestant. See, there was a compliment for Protestants. You get that? What am I doing, man? My super chats are all messed up here. I have to manually star them to find them. Aha, here's Yanni. Look, Yanni K said, Ich heiße... You speak German? What is this? Ich heiße Janina mit J, aber hier man sagt Janina oder Jani mit J, nicht Jani oder Jenny. Oh, okay. That's funny. That didn't really explain anything, because depending on how you read this,
that doesn't. You said how not to pronounce it.
You could be saying anything here, so that wasn't really helpful. But I assume that you mean that that it's Jani. So yeah, Janie, Jani. I don't know. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. But yeah, Ayatollah, thank you, and it's a very great honor to get such a very positive and very Christian super chat from the Ayatollah himself. I really appreciate that. Didn't expect that. Now I'm turning pro-Iran. The UK is so screwed that when I heard they found out who Jack the Ripper was, I instantly thought they would say it was a Jew. Bingo! Sure enough, they did. That's one of my one of the things that I remember from very, very early times when I was a wee lad. When I watched something about Jack the Ripper, and it turned out that they actually thought he was a Jew. And lots of people still believe that, actually. It's still a conspiracy theory. It's so ridiculous. Because somebody made it up. Yanni K.
Don't let Candace find out about this one.
Yeah. She will say he was a Frankist.
He was a Frankist, he said.
Yanni K said, just kidding. Yanni K said, can't believe Tucker is saying what he's saying. He is saying what he's saying because Tucker is retarded. Hi, boys, barbecue. Love you both. Glad to be here. Glad to have you here. Daniel R. Konstantin hugging and kissing. Ethan Matthew, dear Will, just leave us alone. Love the Jews. Awesome. Do it. Also, Two Young Guys says, I'm Berliner mit Berliner. One believes only Quran. One redefined offensive jihad as politisch imperial moves. No one got al-zooted, but you know who was. All right.
Hey.
What?
Oh, yeah. Finish these super chats with that. I just sent you in the private chat. This is Turkish. Can you verify that the subtitles are correct on this? Because if we want to add this to our collection.
Irfan Spezi was based one young vaping Muslima with loose head covering and tight clothes. That sounds like some of the Muslims in Germany. That's sounds very familiar. I've seen lots of those around. Probably Turkish, isn't she? That sounds very, very familiar. King Kid, not being sponsored, but I would try Gab. No. Not even going to entertain that. In fact, I'm going to ban you from here right now. K. Alifi, he said penetrated. Saga of history, pray like Muhammad, face towards Mecca and rear towards Al-Zut.
Yep, face down, butt up. Just the way Muhammad likes
Get Stefan on a live stream or the Polish will riot. I might.
We should get Stefan on with us, man.
He wants me to go to Poland. I think I'm going to go to Poland to visit him.
You should go to Poland.
and go to Auschwitz together, and
must be nice.
Go to Auschwitz together, and then go to Tommy's rally. That's kind of the plan.
Best buddies.
I'll figure it out. I'll see.
AP's new best friend, Stefan the Polak.
Stefan. He's a funny guy.
What kind of Polish name is Stefan, man?
Stefan.
Stefan.
Elder Dawa Troll. Wish there was a Mohammed Small version of the Magic 8 Ball. Oh, great. Mohammed Small. What are the eyes?
It'd be funny. A Magic 8 Ball Mohammed Small.
Waming Xiong said, AP, please read this in Californian Dawa girly voice. I can't do that voice. What's it called? It's called the Valley Girl voice.
Valley Girl?
I have no idea how to do that.
Valley Girl would be like, I mean, I've never tried, but it'd be like, we've all been zooted, and we're proud of that. Something like that.
I can't do that. I have no idea. I need to listen to some of those. When I hear those people talk, I usually turn it off immediately or turn my brain off. So I don't really know what they sound like. I have to listen to more of that stuff. Maybe I can I can watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians or something and see. Sketch Therapy, y'all did a video with Raymond Ibrahim, the history of Islam. Would you consider asking him about the connection between Hubal, Baal, and Allah, the second dilemma? David, what do you think?
We could. We need to do more stuff with Raymond Ibrahim. He's pretty cool
based.
and knows a lot of stuff.
He's based. He is pretty based. Let's see. It's the Saint Murad Quran at Good Translation. What? What Quran? There's such a Quran? I've never heard of that. I have no idea. Non-Islamic Quran translation. I've never heard of it. I'll check it out. Seems to be a little project there. Japister Mike Winger will be the unquestioned lord and master of the world. He will force the population of Earth into Rewingerlingification, as Ned Flanders, probably.
Over my rotting corpse.
The funny thing is that lots of people who tune in probably think that David is seriously like hates Mike Winger or something. When everybody knows that he and Mike Winger are very good friends.
They don't know the half of it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, you know. Yeah, okay, that's it. That's all the super chats. Hey, I actually did what you usually do, which is just go through the super chats in the middle of thing instead of leaving them all to the end and having hours of super chat readings.
Yeah, that's dumb. Hey, check that private chat real quick, man. Is this guy speaking Turkish?
This here? Yes.
Look at that. It's about
Oh, I know this video. Is
he speaking Turkish? Yeah, cry, baby.
The captions are accurate. Yeah.
Cry harder.
What? The subtitles are accurate. I know this video. He cries because people are leaving Islam, and Muslims are becoming atheists.
Cry harder, cry baby.
He cries. Like, we won't be able to look Muhammad in the face.
I have to, just to be honest here, my estimation of this guy as a man just drastically plummeted.
Powerful.
Selavat getirir misiniz?
Salavat ne?
Dude, this is funny. Salawat, that's the same word used of what Allah does in Surah 33, verse 56.
Salavat, Allahumma salawat.
Make fun of it.
Alhamdulillah.
He's doing the sign of the cross to make fun of it.
Arkadaşlar bizim için salavat getirir mi?
So dramatic, man. Yeah, this is a real video, so this is all correctly translated. I think this video here is done by a different guy who goes around and asks Islamic questions to people and then exposes how little the people in Turkey know about Islam, which is actually very funny because they're not practicing Muslims. The youth is like totally detached from Islam. And
Dude,
this guy cries about it.
This
It's-
guy's crying about that, man. Dude, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Y'all ain't seen
Avalanche is just getting started.
Y'all ain't seen nothing. Yeah. How many al-Zut does it take to change Muhammad's leather straps? 30.
That's true.
Wow. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Anyway, let's finish this interview.
There are critics of yours, Prime Minister, who will say, well, part of the reason that Israel is losing the propaganda war is when you have ministers like Smotrich making incendiary or inflammatory comments, and there doesn't seem to be any particular pushback from your government to this. They go, well, what does the Prime Minister really believe?
Well, what I believe I say. In a parliamentary system, people are free to say. Sometimes they say things they don't quite mean. It happens all the time. It happens in any parliamentary system, as you know, and it happens in Britain too. But I think that on the whole, the people, the government is united. Most of the people are united, not all. You have a very active fringe.
Prime Minister, forgive me, but these aren't parliamentarians. These are people who are part of your government, and they remain part of your government after they say these things that to many people, even your friends, sound a little bit like ethnic cleansing is being discussed.
Well, we're not discussing ethnic cleansing, and to the extent that we have these.
Well, here's what's funny. First off, I have heard Smotrich and others say some really, really messed up things. The two people that are usually mentioned are Smotrich and Ben-Gvir, who are very, very controversial and who sometimes say really, really messed up things like, let's just bomb the whole place, let's kick them all out, let's do this and that. Both of those are not part of the of operations in Gaza. They don't decide what happens. They're not in charge. They're in charge of different things, not of what happens in Gaza. So they can say whatever they want. It has no impact at all on the war and what's happening. So people can say things. And here's the other thing. There is also a little bit of a blur here and a disconnect between Western culture and Middle Eastern culture, or Western culture and anything east from Germany. Such language or such anger, such things in response to violence, for example, are very, very common in Eastern European countries, in Turkey, in the Middle East, and also in Israel. It is the West that has a very, very, very polite way of expressing things and of avoiding anything that might sound bad or violent or offensive. It's very, very normal in the rest of the world to have some really, really, really angry outbursts about things like that. I lived in Turkey. I watched Turkish politics and Turkish TV and all that forever. You would hear some really, really messed up things about fellow Turkish people or Kurds or others very, very frequently. Nobody holds them accountable. Russian politics is really, really messed up. It would sound inhuman. It would sound like Nazi talk if you listened to it in a language that you understand. There is clearly a disconnect here, a lost in translation situation here. You have terrorists blowing themselves up, attacking, massacring, raping people inside Israel, and then you are really outraged about the really, 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 really angry responses that you get from one or two people in the government. Don't be ridiculous.
Oh, hey, I thought of a joke.
What?
Knock, knock.
Who there?
Al-Zut Road.
Conversations around the cabinet, the security cabinet, that is actually not being discussed by these people. But they have disagreements with me. That's part of a parliamentary coalition, and they can leave. And in fact, some of them have left the government in the course of this war. They came back because they disagreed with my decisions on hostage negotiations. They left, or they voted against, or they did both. And that's common. And to describe this as anything but unique, this is a democracy.
Couldn't you say that you disagree with the angry responses? Well, he literally just said it, so he disagrees with them.
I think.
Couldn't he say it in 50 different ways?
Come on. Understand. You know very well how that works in Britain and how it works elsewhere. I don't condone the idea of the ethnic cleansing. I don't seek to occupy Gaza and settle it. I think that our goal there is to make sure that we have a security belt, a security cordon, which would probably.
But Prime Minister, may I just interrupt? When you have,
I think that Israel should work towards controlling or permanently securing their control over some of the regions in question. I think they should make sure that lots of the people in Gaza leave Gaza and go somewhere else. I think they should establish a complete barrier between themselves and Gaza. The mistake of the past is that Israel had a blockade around Gaza after Hamas came into power. They should just not do it. They should just separate themselves entirely from Gaza, leave it alone, and leave. But they should also annex the West Bank and peacefully relocate some of the population. There, I said it. I don't care.
Your finance minister making a speech and talking about occupying Gaza, and there doesn't seem to be any pushback within the government, people quite rightly, in my opinion, would say, well,
who cares, man?
Surely aren't you condoning that type of rhetoric?
No. He literally just said he disagrees with it, Francis. What's your problem?
And it's exacerbating Israel's PR problem.
I disagree completely. When somebody says that, and I'm asked, is that your policy? And I said, no, it's not my policy. I don't intend to build settlements or communities in Gaza, and not Israeli ones. I want a non-Israeli civilian governance after that is committed to living in peace with us and doesn't condone terror, educate their children to terror, finance terror, or launch terror, which is what Hamas does, and frankly, what the Palestinian Authority would do too. So we're not going that route. But I don't want to build Israeli communities there, and I've said it openly. And they ask.
Ayatollah says Islam supports gay rights. Well, this would make sense considering that Muhammad himself was gay, but unfortunately, this is false. So,
ask me. Your Minister of Finance says this, and what do you say? Well, I say I disagree with him. And I say that, he's entitled to say his things. That's not ethnic cleansing. It's a view. It's a legitimate view, which I happen to disagree with. But I can tell you that I think there, too, the statements that nullify and challenge the various lies that are leveled at us, you just can't keep up with it. It's like a flood. I'm too busy winning the war, sometimes winning the actual war, to debunk every single lie that is put against us or against me. You're vilified, you're a war criminal, you're a demon, you're demonized all the time. And it just say noise. Put that aside. Win the war, win it judiciously, use just means, and have in a just war that you have to win if you're going to live and survive in this very brutal era. And let me tell you, we will win it. And I think we'll win the peace with it too. Because I think in our area, guess what? In your area too, people respect the strong. And the strong have to win. The strong can be evil or they can be good. But you cannot lose. If you lose, nobody will make alliances with you. Nobody will make peace with you. You make peace with the strong. You make alliances with the strong. The strong survive. But the strong survive not only through their guts, but also through their wits and through their commitment to their cause. And my cause is the survival of the one and only Jewish state, often against incredible vilification and lies. But that's the way this cookie crumbles, but the state of Israel will not.
Based. This is very, very true. Especially in the Middle East.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, but Israel was not.
Yeah. That's how things work in the Middle East, especially. Around the world, but especially in the Middle East. What works is strength, power. You can't be weak when you're facing the others around them. You got to be strong. You got to be strong. And Israel is being strong, and they don't like it. Who cares if they don't like it? Who cares if they don't like it if you win in the end? Anything else, David? No? Good.
Got to be strong like a hippo.
Gotta be strong like a hippo.
Because what you're saying, and look,
What are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying, baby? Baby, I want to ask you a question, baby.
I have a sympathy with what you're saying. Of course I do. But when you say that this is just noise, I would strongly push back against that, Prime Minister, because if you look at particularly Gen Z and the younger generation's opinion,
The dumbest people in the world.
No, I'm laughing about this, but the thing is, it's not just ridiculous. It is also kind of funny that we actually have to think about it, because it almost looks like nowadays that Gen Z, that the youngest people actually have impact somehow on politics nowadays, on Twitter and all that.
Yeah. Think about this, because I don't know where he's going with this, but I mean, think. Listen, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, we understand that you were invaded and that you're surrounded by terrorists who want to completely wipe you out. But have you considered the younger generation and how they're going to interpret all of this? And how does this factor into your plans for dealing with Hamas?
Well, solid question there, right there. Alhamdulillah.
of view on Israel, they are, to put it mildly, Prime Minister, deeply unfavorable. And those kids now, they are going to be the next ones to go into politics. They're going to be the next decision makers. That must present you with a very real worry. You
must be very worried about Gen Z.
You know, all these stupid kids on TikTok making videos, well, they're going to be the next prime ministers of every country in the world. How does that make you feel?
How will you win over the latest TikTok dances with the policies that your party is pursuing right now?
Instead of bombing Gaza and hunting down Hamas and trying to get your hostages back, shouldn't you rather be making dancing videos on TikTok to impress this younger generation?
Why don't you jump on the latest TikTok trend? Isn't that a better strategy?
Yep. Israel will not enjoy the same level of support, particularly from the US, that it has once done when those kids come to be the decision makers.
Well, ask them in Britain and ask them in the US what they think of Britain and the US. What are they saying? There's a big campaign, and it's organized and systemic, and it's financed to tear away traditional elements of support from Israel. It's not just...
Yeah, okay, I have to agree. I take that back. I see that a lot of IDF people, a lot of soldiers in the IDF also do like TikTok trends and all that.
And it's usually hot chicks.
Yeah. So that happens. So I'm taking everything back.
Yeah. So Netanyahu should have blasted him with that. Not the way Al-Zut blasted Muhammad, but should have just been like, "You want to see some TikTok videos? Boom, right there."
Excuse me, Francis. Have you seen our TikTok videos? Have you seen the IDF TikTok videos? Well, you need to check them out before you talk about this.
Happening by itself. A lot of it is organized, and if it's
actual dancing Israelis. Nice one.
It's organized, you can counter it too at the appropriate time. You just have to concentrate your attention to it. And I agree with you that it's an important point. And I'll tell you what they're saying. They're saying, for example, those in America are saying, we're pro-American. You're pro-American? And you attack Israel that is fighting the people who tried to assassinate President Trump twice, not once, who bombed American embassies, who murdered 241 American Marines in Beirut, who murdered and wounded thousands of Americans in Iraq and Afghanistan with Iranian IEDs, Iran that chants death to America, death to the traitors, to the heathen, and so on. This is the people you support, and in fact, that's where the support. Not only that, you heard some other outlandish things that they do. I mean, they're some of their most prominent spokesmen. They say, well, Netanyahu is trying to drag Trump into a war. Did you hear that? You hear that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, okay. And what do I want to do? Because I want ground troops, American ground troops, boots on the ground, to conquer Iran and bring about regime change and all that nonsense. And thank God President Trump has proven an exceptional friend of Israel, an exceptional leader. And he did exactly the right action, the precise action using American power, and came in, I think, in a very forceful but judicious way. I think we've been very fortunate to have a leader in the United States who doesn't act like the European leaders, who doesn't succumb to this stuff. But if you're telling me that there's work to be done on Gen Z and across the West, yes. And by the way, it's not only our job. We are, as your colleague Douglas Murray has said, we're the litmus test for the survival of the West, because these people are against the West. They're not for the West. They're against the West. And there's the horseshoe effect of the woke left meeting the woke right and challenging the basic precepts of Western civilization.
He actually used the term woke right. That's funny. That is very funny. Mosh said the first part wasn't a milestone check. You see, yeah, I think you were referring to what was it? To Netanyahu saying that something about Islam and Muslims, Hamas. Yeah. No, there was something else. I don't know, but I think I remember. I saw what you actually meant, but now I forgot it. I will check it out in a second here. Let me search for Mosh. Mosh. I'm watching this on a half-hour delay while washing dishes. So Bibi just started talking about not trying to strengthen Hamas to fight the Palestinian Authority, and I had to stop, dry my hands to type that this is such a lie. And it's amazing he's still doing this. Amazing. They should have more sub on this. Is just, yeah. Honestly, I have some questions about that too. When Konstantin asked him about the whole issue of people saying that Bibi allowed Hamas to be given money and all that by Qatar and by Iran, and he denied it. I don't know. I find that part a little bit questionable as well. So I see what you're saying, but yeah. David Mike Winger, what's wrong with you? Actually, there are many people who could have been Jack the Ripper for, I think. Cal Mickers did a good job breaking it down. The theories make sense. Powerful. Your favorite mate, don't let your love of Jews cloud your judgment. Don't let your hate of Jews cloud your judgment, and be unbiased, especially with crime cases, inshallah. I'm Berlin guy. AP, did you see the short of Irfan with this young guy some days ago? Look for Anzeige Saus Irfan Pechi. Please watch and comment. David Wood, Times Square. Beast. I know that this was going around. It has 2 million views.
Ich wollte sagen, dass ich Deutscher bin. Ich würde sie auch.
Yeah, I'll check it out. Gabriel Valencia, Islam only supposed to right to be al-Zutit. This is true. Here's the most humble cat human, indeed. Joji said, On the Resistance to Evil by Force is a very based book written by an Orthodox Christian. More people should read it. Resistance to Evil by Force. On the Resistance to Evil by Force. Huh. Interesting. All right. Anything else, David?
I was looking up that Irfan Pechi.
And I think that has to be challenged not merely by Israel or by me, but by you. And I know that you're doing it, and I want to commend you for doing it.
Well, we've certainly been challenging the woke right, and that's one of many critics, but we'll continue to do it. Prime Minister, I know you're limited on time. We'll just do a couple more questions, and I want to ask you about the future. And I know that if I say to you, well, what does the future of Gaza look like? You're going to say, we got to destroy Hamas. We agree. You're going to say, we want the hostages back. We agree. You're going to say, we got to demilitarize.
AP Andrew was on Crowder's channel today talking about his groyper nonsense. Now, Andrew Wilson's not a groyper. But he does have some stuff against Israel. I know that he was going to have a discussion with somebody on Crowder's channel about Israel. I should check that out. He had a discussion with Gerald Morgan on Stephen Crowder about Zionism. Well, I already had that debate with him and humiliated him, so why is he still having that discussion? I don't know.
AP, if we don't wipe out Israel, then we're supporting the Antichrist.
All right. So the only way that this could go wrong is if he has a discussion with somebody who has very apocalyptic views about Israel. And there I would agree more with Andrew's position than with the other guy's position. I'll check it out. I'll put it on my to-watch list. Alhamdulillah. All right.
Militarize Gaza so they can't do October the 7th again. We agree. And then you're going to say, and then we need a civilian government in Gaza that's not hostile to Israel. And that's where you lose me, Prime Minister, because I look at the opinion polls. I look at the people celebrating October the 7th in Gaza. I look at the fact that thousands of civilians crossed into Israel on October the 7th to commit the atrocities that were committed. And I go, these people hate you. They hate you, they hate Israel, and they hate Jews. How are you going to have a peaceful coexistence with those people, particularly given the fact that, as Francis mentioned earlier, they have been very heavily radicalized, not only through the education system, but through the fact that they've been on the receiving end on Israel's war effort?
Well, I think you're...
Okay, I have to say one thing here. I will listen to Benjamin Netanyahu's response, but... the people in Gaza have not been radicalized by Israel. They have not been radicalized by Israel. Yes, I can definitely appreciate that that you have to be fair and you have to acknowledge that it might have had an impact on people and so on. I'm sorry. You might attack and try to murder somebody's family, and they might then hit back. And as a result of that hitting back, your children might get a little bit more radicalized, but in the end, it is still not that person's fault because you are the attacker. And that's what's happening in Israel as well. It is not Gaza that was radicalized. Even if we acknowledge that some of the younger Gazans nowadays aren't really fully aware of the history and of what happened in the past, and now get radicalized by the ongoing war. I'm sorry, how in the world is that Israel's responsibility? This happened as a result of the Palestinian Muslim side themselves starting this and doing this over and over and over again. They radicalize their own people and their own children. It's not Israel's responsibility.
Yeah, and I'll just add, because of what Islam teaches and because Hamas, the leaders, embrace what Muhammad said about Jews, guess what? Israel could be as nice as possible to the people of Gaza. The people of Gaza will want to exterminate all the Jews, or they could be completely brutal towards the people of Gaza, and the people of Gaza will still want to exterminate all the Jews. So either way, no matter what Israel does, Gaza will want to exterminate the Jews, and therefore kind of the best case scenario here, you make them scared of you. That's about it. Make them scared.
Let me listen to that part one more time so I don't misrepresent Konstantin.
Existence, well, and they hate Jews. So these people hate you. They hate you, they hate Israel, and they hate Jews. How are you going to have a peaceful coexistence with those people, particularly given the fact that, as Francis mentioned earlier, they have been very heavily radicalized, not only through the education system, but through the fact that they've been on the receiving end on Israel's war effort?
Well, I think
he did say that. He said that they have been on the receiving end of Israel's war effort. So we shouldn't mention that.
You're pointing out to is that you need also a program of de-radicalization. Now, has that been done in societies that have been conditioned to hate their adversaries? Yes, of course, it's been done in two places prominently, in Japan and in Germany, but it's also been done in the Middle East. Mm-hmm. I mean, there have been very noteworthy programs, successful programs of de-radicalization in some of the Gulf states, which are actually proving to be to break the this prototype of Arab societies that cannot seize the future. I'm not saying they're model democracies, mind you, they're not. but they certainly want to seize modernity and not go back to the savage and early medievalism that the Islamic fundamentalists want to drag us all to. So I think
You mean Islam?
that there's a need for de-radicalization. It has to be part of the reconstruction of
De-Islamization.
Gaza. You not only reconstruct Gaza, you also de-radicalize Gaza. It's going to be a heavy lift, but it's necessary.
De-radicalize.
Prime Minister, final question we ask all of our guests on the show is, what is the one thing that we are not talking about as a society, and in your case, as a civilization, I would say? What are we not talking about within Western civilization that we should be talking about?
This is a good question, considering that we live in a society. Yeah.
Well, three things. History.
Whoa, you're cheating.
Whoa!
One thing. No, he says three things. What is
three?
it?
Hey, they said one thing and he said three. That's 3 and 1. What? And they say the Trinity is impossible?
Yeah, Trinity, they're right there. See?
History and history. Well, three things. History, and history.
Hey, that's one thing.
That's one thing, but in three. Whoa. Do not say three. Huh.
An ahistorical generation that is being raised here. And if its sense of history goes back to breakfast, you're lucky. And unless you know how we got here, you don't know how to proceed from here. And that is, I think, lacking. Not lacking on your part, obviously, but would you agree? You think
I certainly would. But can you flesh out for us what are the
right?
lessons you would want people to take from history that you feel that they're not?
Well, I'll tell you the lessons that we, the Jewish people, took from history. Number one is when somebody says they're going to annihilate you, take it seriously. Don't wait for them to do it, but prevent it.
That's actually a very relevant thing also for the Western people. Because you have a bunch of people coming in and saying, oh, we will take over and we will destroy you and we will do this and this and that to you. And you should believe them. You should especially believe it when it comes from Muslim populations. And you should do something about it.
Would be a good idea.
As we did in the remarkable action that we took against Iran, because they were developing nuclear weapons and they were going to have 20,000 ballistic missiles, 1-ton ballistic missiles, that on a country the size of Israel, which is tiny, it's like the size of Wales or New Jersey, that would obliterate us. So we had to take action. And we.
You know what? People always say this. People always make this comparison, a country the size of New Jersey. So I was wondering why they always say New Jersey as an example. And then I looked it up and it's actually very similar. Here you have Israel's size. And here you have New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very funny. Alhamdulillah.
Except New Jersey is a steaming pile of garbage.
That's pretty rude.
We didn't wait for them to annihilate us first. And I think that, I think in general, for the democracies, I would say, well, how about remembering Churchill's warning? He said that
I thought he was going to say, remember in church.
Democracies fall into the slumber of democracies. And he said that it's only when the jarring gong of danger wakes them up that, they do something about it. Well, they might sleep through the jarring gong of danger because I think it's gonging well enough.
He's saying jarring gong of danger, and all I could think of is the old zoot and the jarring dong of danger. Oh man, oh boy, nice, well played, BB. You keep saying things that lead straight into El Zoot jokes. Terrible.
And this is also how we come to the topic of the El Zoot.
Yeah. What's the one thing, dude? That would have been instant legend status. After that, Netanyahu, if he had done this, it would not matter what he did after this. He could become the world's most prolific axe murderer, and I would not have had a problem. If they had said, what's the one thing that everyone should be talking about that they're not, and he had said Al Zut, that would have done it, man. That would have done it. Everything from that point on would have been icing.
I think as a society, we need to focus more on the Al Zut.
The Al Zut. The history. When I say the history, I mean the history of Al Zut.
The history of the Al Zut.
Yeah. Boom. You have these
done
Islamic radicals Islamist radicals that want to tear up Arab society. They want to subjugate
Whoa,
all the
whoa,
Muslims.
whoa, 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 whoa! Look at that. He said Islamic extremists. Wait,
Islamist radicals that
he said
Islamist radicals. Like, how many different ways can he say?
he
Not
first
just say
said
Islam.
he first said Islamic radicals, then he changed it to Islamist radicals. Look at this. Look, listen now.
have these Islamic radicals, Islamist radicals that
You catch that, right? He didn't want to go. He didn't want to continue with Islamic radicals, so he said Islamic radicals. Then he switched it to Islamist radicals. But he knows very well that it's Islamic. That's what it is. He knows. He knows the truth.
want to tear up Arab society. They want to subjugate all the Muslims. They want to destroy Israel. They obliterate Christians one after the other. And they say they're going after you. They're developing intercontinental ballistic missiles that can reach into Europe and soon into the United States. And you know, Western leaders can go on blaming Israel for this, for fighting this common menace, or they can do something about it.
It's a menace to society. Shouldn't tolerate it.
And it remains to be seen whether they've drawn the lesson. But we've learned the lessons of history. Somebody says he's going to kill you, wake up in time. And you know something?
That's
from biology too. You know, for an organism to survive, it has to recognize danger in time. And it has two options at that point: to fight or flight. You know, flight or fight. And we have nowhere to flee. We're in our ancestral homeland, and we're not going anywhere. We fight them, but we're not fighting them only on our behalf. We're fighting them on your behalf too. And I hope that you have the opportunity to carry this message far and wide. So I thank you for this.
Thank you for your time, Prime Minister.
Thank you.
Beast.
That was pretty good. I've seen worse videos. What do you think?
It's pretty based.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So what's the message that we can draw today? The message that we can all, the moral of all of the entire story here is that people are not talking sufficiently about the Al-Zut.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. And that's basically what Benjamin Netanyahu was saying as well. Very, very good. Josera said, you see, Bibi said 3-1. He's a Zionist Christian. No, he's a Christian Zionist now. Boxing reviews. Yeah. Israel bends all in all over and poops and Kabul after. Good, yes. Gabriel Valencia said, too bad Mo didn't have the Al-Zutification program. This is true. This is true. Everything would have gone better if that was the case. All right. What did you guys think about the interview? Was it good? Say some positive things so I get paid by Mossad. Say Israel is good, so I get paid by Mossad. Wait, let me play this so I get paid $5.
Israel is the Jewish state, the greatest state of all.
All right, man.
Yeah. I'm just because I went over to the comment section on this video because I was wondering like if they're going to be bombarded with, oh my goodness, they're justifying genocide. But I'm looking at it. Top comments: Pierce Morgan crying in jealousy, not getting that interview. The strange irony of our era is that two stand-up comics have taken on the responsibility that mainstream media abandoned. You were both just invited into Gaza to see the tunnels and the state of Gaza. I really hope that you say yes to that invitation and film it.
Yeah, should.
Maybe make a long episode out of it. Thank you, Konstantin. Thank you, Francis. Thank you. Dude, some organizations are paying those students. If you ask them, where's the river and where's the sea? They know nothing. Go on, lads. You got the interview everyone wants. You come a long way. Keep going. When people talk without aggression, common ground can be found. Well done. This is awesome, man.
This is good. Good impact. Good impact. Good impact. Good impact. Wait, I need to put this on my soundboard. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to have a laughter like that on your soundboard. It's too weird even for my soundboard.
You should have that after a joke.
I could just laugh myself. Why would I have that as a...
Here, try it with a joke. Try it with a joke. I'll do a different one. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting Zoot.
Do I still go and say interrupting Zoot who?
Casey. There you go.
All right. Good. All right. Inshallah. Well, it's a pretty good laugh, man. What's your problem? People are like, this is a creepy laugh. It's not. Look at this. It's beautiful. What a beautiful laugh. Look at this. What a beautiful.
It's like his whole, I don't know, something about it, man. That demon did a number on him, man. Who laughs like that?
Nobody. No single person laughs like that. All right, man. Anything else, David? Are we going live tomorrow?
Darn right we are.
Oh boy. Don't be a menace to society while drinking juice during Al Zoot. Good. Yeah, we're going live tomorrow, and we're going to talk about some really base stuff, and definitely not about the Al Zoot. So,
although, to be fair, Al Zoot may be mentioned periodically.
That's good. I'm currently working on turning a Quran chapter into a mumble rap. So,
I swear, by the day resurrection. Hey, I swear, man, think we want to assemble his bones. Yeah, we able to restore.
it sounds better than the Quran itself, man. It's pretty good. Yeah.
It's way better, but I thought the Quran was mumble rap, man. Basically, 7th century mumble rap. Hey, we should start calling the Quran 7th century mumble rap. Wouldn't that be funny?
That is pretty good. But here's another song that I'm working on, which is actually If Muhammad Was a Mumble Rapper.
Why so young, she still in class? Hop on my camera, we riding fast. Tag you with, girl, no need to ask. And you can sign it, I got the pass. Dollar house trip, she playing with toys. Call me the prophet, but more like a boy. Said it's divine, so they bringing me joy. History shook, but they still say deploy. Pick her up, no Uber. Still got dogs, but she call me ruler. Broke the rules, so I make it legit. Angel whisper, so they never admit. Facts. Fresh my day ain't talk loud. Got a little girl, till I say proud. 9 years old, yeah, we made those vows. Who gon' check me? The sky said bow.
Who understood anything?
You're not supposed to, I thought.
Good. Okay, good. It works. Wonderful. Awesome.
It's just like the Quran. No one understands any of that crap.
Not one word. Good. Thank you. That's good. It's working perfectly. It's all going according to plan. Wonderful. But it's basically Muhammad rapping about how he's a pedophile. So anyway,
when we getting an Al Zoot song, man, an Al Zoot song.
Let's go and give it to you. If Israel did what the CCP does in Xinjiang, Muslims would be quiet. Is that how you say it? In Xinjiang, Muslims would be quiet, then they would be speaking their language, and it would be embarrassing for them. That's true. If they did it in Xinjiang, that would be pretty messed up. Anyway, David, anything else? All right, good. Thanks, everybody, for watching. As always, have a fantastic day. And I leave you with this piece of advice. And our in-house translator will translate this for you, for all those who don't speak goat.
Stay away from Islam.